Date is the 14th of Nim, year of our kingdom 998. The weather is still warm enough to let you know that the season is changing, despite the cold air of the night nipping at your nose. And situation, as always, I am writing my notes for the day in my room at the Nodding Poppy. I return to form. That is the best way I can describe these past few days. We've only been back 4 days, but it's as if we'd never left. And returns to being the helpful recluse at the Poppy. They come and go much like a cat that is used to living outdoors, but has since discovered they're allowed inside. Every day they return to the Poppy to nap on a warm bed, eat tasty food, and bask in good company. Though they venture to Regalport to converse with old contacts and new alike, they always return to salvage, to the scrap bucket, to the Poppy, and rest their heads somewhere comfortable, somewhere that they've accepted as safe. Willow took all of 4 days to catch up on what I heard was weeks worth of backlog, and at this point I'm surprised that I'm surprised. Willow is a special talent. They work very hard, and above all, they are kind. So of course they would endeavour to have their absence rectified as quickly as possible. I wonder now if taking their ship out at dawn and spending the morning catching fish with a friend is familiar for them too. Certainly it stirred enough fondness to make a homely dish and bless those around them with familiar flavors. And me? Well, the Poppy is everything I know, and returning to routine here keeps my feet on the ground. I am glad to do my work, and I'm glad to sleep in my own bed. As always, Sika Elsa teaches me. My mind is fresh soil, and she fills it with seeds and tends to them gently. And in only 2 days I have sprouts, greenery that will eagerly be ground down into a salve to heal whoever I can reach. Her wisdom guides my care, as it has for these past 8 months. But there are other ways I find myself returning to form. Ways I was frightened of, but have now accepted as necessary. And I crave to command them for myself. A return to form, I don't know. I return to a form etched into my bones and into my blood. I return to a strength that is mine, if I choose to claim it, and claim it I shall. The champion aids me in that return, the sharp of his blade exposing the familiarity buried deep inside, somewhere I don't know. He guides my hand, tells me where to reach, when to tighten, and what I find at the end of the fingertips, I seize for myself. It was a return to a form that I don't know. And for the first time, I'm not afraid of him.
Wee, Luca!
Oh,
Pinches
Luca.
his cheeks.
Love him.
Bites.
We pick up watching the lights of Regalport dim and bulb as our trio returns home from an evening of merrymaking with the Madani Inquisitive's office. We see Willow wave goodbye to En and Luca as they traipse their way back to the Nodding Poppy up the hill. And I think we see Willow enter their room and pick up a few things.
Indeed. I believe my
You'd
bed
like
is
to
still covered
describe?
in table. Yeah.
Yes, you
Yeah.
do. You do have a tabletop on your bed that
Yes.
has
So much stuff on it.
yeah.
Why clear your desk when you can just put it somewhere else? But no, they can't put this somewhere else now. I do think that, like after you get back from like a decent night, it was a nice night. I'm 100 gold heavier, not to mention. Bring is nice. She put a lot of things in order. Hanging out with the crew is nice, seeing everyone's laughing and all that. It's nice. I imagine our little parting ways was cute too. So I think like mindlessly Willow starts not just putting the desk back onto their other table, but like actually clearing it, sorting it out. Just mindlessly sort of wandering around, putting things where they ought to be. And then just gonna mindlessly sort of do that all evening, and then probably just without even noticing, like plop down in their bed to rest once it's clear, and then conk out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You put all things where they ought to be, including yourself, which is in bed.
Yes. Yay.
And in that moment of like relaxing back on your clear bed with its clean sheets, you close your eyes for a moment and completely fall asleep.
Yes. And I don't think... Can I skip to the next morning?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, whew, no nightmares? Nice.
No.
I imagine it's the kind of thing where like Willow wakes up in the morning and they like sit up and they look around and they kind of realize that they organize their room, not just in the sense of their boat, rather. They organize their living space, not just to clear off the bed, but they've actually kind of arranged everything they need to start a different brand of work. Chessboards on the table. I think their mind map's laid out with it. And it's like in their sleepy delirium, they've actually decided that rest time is over. And it's back to business. And I think that being back to business, Willow sitting up and seeing like the chessboards laid out again, cleared off with all the pieces to the side. So like starting over. They're gonna basically put on their music and start working for the day.
Yeah.
But working doesn't mean for Bruno this time, because they finished their Bruno work. They're gonna be getting new work tomorrow.
Yeah.
So this is Willow work,
Yeah.
which is bouncing between like 4 different things. I imagine they have leftovers. So the scene is like, there is music playing. Usually Willow's boat plays music loud enough that you can hear it from the outside. I don't think they've soundproofed their boat.
No.
So groovy kind of music playing. Willow's got one surface with their work laid out on it. Things that they want to make, blueprints. They have their dismantled crossbow out. They have this little slip that looks roughly the size of their shoe that is out. They're sort of playing around with their sword as they walk between the 2 desks. So I imagine their workshop desk downstairs, the elemental, which they say hello to.
Yeah.
A list on a bookshelf, probably the stove where they're eating their food, and then back to the table where they start like idly placing chess pieces. And they're just doing that all day, just scampering between those various things, but in a chill way.
Yeah. It's you dance a little to your own music as you sort of let the flow state come into full focus and start tinkering.
Yes.
As is your wont.
As is my job title. And passion or something, I don't know.
Yeah. Luca and En, you continue helping out at the Poppy today. Luca, you've got another session with Nereus. You've been going every other night or so. Yes, and you feel very proud of yourself, Luca, having recently passed Seek Elsa's exam of learning how to use a herbalism kit. After many months of studying under her, you are officially qualified to use the damn thing.
Yeah. Anne's proud of you too.
Oh, thank you. Probably let you taste it. Everyone gets a sip.
And like cutting vegetables, nicks their finger. Luca's like, I have something for that.
Yeah, just waiting for someone to get mildly injured.
And like turns a corner too fast and knocks their hand against like the archway a bit, and like, they make the reflexive ow, even though it doesn't hurt. Luca brings them the potion.
I'm sure Seeker also says that there will be an opportunity to use it soon enough.
Luca like, fingers crossed.
And like, what?
Then he realizes,
He's so
like,
lucky.
oh no.
The implications.
Yeah.
Hey, before anyone peels off or does anything, you guys have your scene first, but I do think that I may pop in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Feel free to
not sure
pop in today.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be doing anything out of ordinary.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we're just humming along the usual.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I think a certain someone is going to do their usual lap around to the nesting quail, get some pie, and show up at your door.
Mm-hmm.
Like the good old days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's gonna answer? Is Luca gonna answer? Potion in tow.
Roll initiative.
Yes, let's. Oh my god!
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, Anne.
Okay, I guess it's me.
You guys, wish you guys did this for an actual fight.
Yeah, if only. Luca's busy hoping Elsa was something specific and just like near the door at the front desk or in the kitchen.
Mhm.
Just
Yep.
come around. Oh, hello there.
Good afternoon. Willow pauses to look at the sun.
And looks up
And
too.
holds up their pie. Both of us just pause to assess. Afternoon. Willow holds up their pie.
Oh, delivery, huh? And steps aside to let Willow in.
Willow looks around. Is the potion maker here?
Oh yeah, I think he's in the back with Elsa.
Hmm.
Need him for something? Need me to go fetch him for you?
Oh, lunch.
I guess he wouldn't be able to make many potions if he starved.
Willow skips a little as they come in. I feel like you can tell that there's a bit more of a jaunt to them.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and watches them go.
Clicky, clicky shoes.
Cute.
Different shoes or the same ones?
Oh, good
Is there a
question.
different click clack in their step or a new
I don't know.
familiar?
Depends on how observant you are. Observant, I say.
Make a perception check? Question mark.
Hell yeah.
Luca comes out hearing the clicky clackies.
Nah.
Not good enough, I don't think.
Nah, I'd say over a
But
10.
Willow is here.
We got a
And Ken,
visitor.
if you wanted. But since Brina's been talking about shoes.
Sure, I'll give it a shot. Perception. Nope. Perception.
Disgrace.
Nope. Same as you.
We
No,
match.
Oh, wait, that is a 10.
Yeah.
So maybe it was over 12. Pardon me, sorry. I know that usually Zeke sets it about 12. Is it 12?
Yeah.
Cool.
10 is average.
Okay.
10 to
Yeah,
12.
that makes sense.
I think this
Pardon
would
me.
be a slightly above average check.
Yeah,
was going
I do
too fast.
deliberately do my stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Willow brings in pie, does the usual hellos. They're not going to immediately jump into it, but there is stuff that they want to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine after you guys have eaten lunch.
Willow will ask Luca what his plans for the evening are.
Luca looks around like this. Oh, and Seeker Nereus. Time.
Nods. That's what
Nods.
Willow was checking it. And N. Is N up to anything today?
I'm just catching up on work and gestures to the sink.
Okay. And I think if Elsa's out of the room and everybody is out and we're in the throes of post-lunch loneliness, aloneness rather, Willow's going to say, so I have some questions.
Ah, there it is.
Look at Will and like, this is for you.
No, you included.
Yeah, and
I
Rizio
actually-
look like bounces their brows like, don't count yourself out, big
Yeah.
boy.
I'm not only bringing you all food to butter you up for questions. However, I do have questions and food. So my question is about Captain Miraldine.
In general?
Yes, I was actually wondering what the two of you might have observed about her during the case in general. Luca, I believe you behaved as her bodyguard, and Willow makes a general gesture of, you know, stuff. You observe every single person like they're a threat. That's the look that Willow gives you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like does a little head tilt shrug like, yeah, I can't deny that one.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah.
Willow's just opening the floor up to you both. What interesting things can you tell me about Captain Miraldine Frostroot?
Well, she's good with a sword.
Very good. Wait, did you...
Luca sparred with her.
Yeah.
I don't think Willow knows that.
No, I don't think Willow or Anne knows that.
No.
Did Willow ask? Did he?
Yeah, Willow's tilting their head at you.
Luca smiles and nods.
Huh. Friendly spa?
Waves his hand slightly. It was one of the days that the newspapers had been particularly rough, so I offered to be a punching bag.
Were you?
Waves hand again. She was pretty good.
Willow does a squint at Luca of like, are you being humble or was she actually very... Because like, if you're pretty good against Luca, then you're pretty good. What does he mean by... Is he downplaying
It was
himself?
like a... No. He's being very straightforward. She's a
Okay.
fair combatant, but it wasn't... He wouldn't consider it a proper, like, time for observation, considering emotions were high, and he was letting himself be on the back foot. So,
Yeah. A little bit of insight from that too. Can I also use that to see whether Luca's okay talking about this?
yeah, he's
As a
fine talking about that.
Okay. Like Miraldine is not a sore spot for you in general?
Fighting with Miraldine is not a sore spot for him.
Yes.
Okay.
I think he is able enough to separate the two.
Okay. Actual Miraldine from Fakaldine.
Yeah.
Okay. So good with a sword, fought you to get her... This Willow's not saying this. Oh, actually, Willow probably is mumbling it. Like, but so you guys know, fought you to get her, like, aggressive energy out during a time of frustration.
Mm-hmm.
Are you
God,
playing?
what was she? I spoke to her about what she was like writing during that day.
Yeah.
Work was about for that day, as well as just like general questions about the sea dragons. Trying not to say snapdragon.
I know, I'm sorry.
You're sorry? Sorry for the theater that you got attacked in? Yeah, you should be.
Yeah, I know.
No,
Was there
no.
anything there that you think Willow would have been interested in overall?
I'm struggling to recall that
Maybe
specific
Luca is too.
conversation.
She was talking about like moving money around, that kind of business work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not
Sure.
sure.
Say she's business minded.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a merchant captain,
Yeah. I think Luca would
primarily.
explain that she spent the day kind of going over her books and answering questions when he asked. So he asked things like why she became a captain, what her kind of job is, how she functions within the sea dragons, that sort of thing.
I don't
Yeah.
think she explained that to you patiently
Yeah.
or at all. I don't think she explained that to you. I think she just
Yeah.
gave you kind of blunt answers and you had to infer. And the best you
Yeah.
could infer is that her job in the Sea Dragons is primarily as a merchant captain, though she is currently on defense of Regalport.
Yes.
When you say merchant captain, is this like a specific sea dragon thing, or is this just like common for the pirates to have different like vibes? This is my attack captain. This is
Yeah.
my merchant captain. So
Yeah,
she's
I mean,
primarily
'cause-
business accountant.
Yeah.
Boat. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's like even pirates need to trade goods.
So she's not like
she does the
piloting a
trading
warship.
for sea dragons, right?
No.
No.
I was saying she's not a warship. She does trade
Oh.
for the Sea Dragons.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like one of the things is like she will coordinate with, say, House Orion to do shipments of various things. She will also do other sort of trade things. It's not sort of one specific thing, but her home port of call is obviously Regal Port. She does do that kind of trade on behalf of the Sea Dragons a lot.
And she did briefly explain what the purpose of a captain on a pirate ship is, because obviously it's a little bit different to a captain of a squadron on foot war combat. Yeah, I remember that much at least.
I
Willow
think
would
that, actually, no, that's probably a Varys explained conversation from before.
No, I remember she was talking about how she organizes like funds for who gets paid, repairs on the ship. I remember
that
this.
too.
Yeah.
Luca's like, I have so little memories. Please don't take this from me.
Yeah. Do we mean God?
And Willow will probably ask, and so in your time bodyguarding her, what was her schedule like?
Well, it was off kilter given that she was in the middle of a murder investigation and being accosted by the press.
Mm-hmm.
We spent a lot of time at the Port Authority. And I'm not sure that would have been the usual.
Yeah, I don't think Luca knows Miraldine's schedule outside of that one very off day.
Okay. Willow has a shaky note about that anyway.
She
Even
did
if the
take
note is, I don't know.
She did take lunch at her ship more often than not, in my experience.
And you guys, this is Mim talking. You guys had an appointment with her, like, in the daytime, yeah? Like at the first crack of dawn?
Yeah.
So she would make, like,
No, not
appointments
crack
for
of...
Not
No,
crack
crack
like
of dawn.
11 sharp, I believe it was.
Yeah,
Last crack of
11.
dawn business hours. It wasn't even the crack of dawn's business hours. What the fuck did I just say? What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Business. It was 11? Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
in the morning, though. Okay.
We had breakfast first, I remember.
Yes. Business meetings in the morning. I guess if you want to call talking to your dead boyfriend a business meeting. Willow wasn't saying this. This is Mim. Okay. Willow will nod. Then probably
Why
turn
are
to
you
N.
interested in her?
Probably turn to N.
You planning to fight her?
No escaping the Luca question, I guess. Okay, Will is going to
I think you'd do well against her. You seem like even from what I remember.
Thank you.
I'm not sure. She knows magic though, which you do, which would probably give you an upper hand. Luca is now mumbling in Captain evaluating his troops.
Hey, that's handy. Mumble louder. Willow's ears prickling like towards you. Like, yeah.
Absolutely not. Enzo's staring at Willow, waiting for some elaboration on what these questions are for. Not necessarily because they're judging them, but because they're determining what information they should share.
Yeah, you win anyway. I literally had to give that to you. Far out,
Thanks.
man.
Yeah. Tell us.
Oh, even when you guys roll like dog shit, you do better than me. I swear. All right, cool.
You're the dog that we're shitting on with these rolls.
Stop it.
Awful.
All right. Horrible. Okay, so Willow is clearly planning something. It's not necessarily combat, but they are asking for intel about Miraldine because it's obvious that they are trying to investigate her.
But you did ask about combat, so
yeah, but that's an important thing to know. How is she gonna kick my ass?
Yeah.
If I end up on the wrong side of her, like, you always have to measure combat when you're going up against someone that's a combatant, even if that's not your goal.
Luca just gasps and he's like, "Do you need a potion?"
I was actually going to ask you later.
Luca claps.
like chuckles.
Yeah, and actually can't help but like break out in a snort at that exchange. All right, Miraldine. Let's see. Speaking of her having affairs and money, one thing I did spot when me and Luca were aboard her ship was a contract for a loan. I'm not sure how relevant that is now, considering, Fred and all the money she got off of him, but at the time she was loaning money from the banks, taking out a loan so she had enough liquid assets to pay for the resurrection. Likely put non-liquid assets up as collateral and insurance, but that might not even be in play anymore. See, Right, one thing I noticed when I was reading her mind was that she was confused as to why she was accusing Arl. She wasn't sure what compelled her to do that. So I think we can take a few guesses on what might have brought her to that conclusion. Without her explicit knowledge.
Willow nods. However, okay, let me just go back through the notes. Can I do an Arcana check just to confirm on main
For what?
what that was?
Why she doubted her accusation.
Oh, like
What led her
Why
to
she
it.
accused Errol in the
suggestion.
first
Yeah.
place?
Oh,
yeah.
it should you already can guess it's suggestion
Yeah, cool. Okay.
because you were
Just
affected by it.
Cheers. Thanks for giving me that one for free. Just in case I rolled a 0. Wait, I can't roll a 0 on Arcana checks, but still, I didn't
No,
know.
No.
you can-
Yeah.
Cool.
Your
Suggestion.
lowest is like a 7, right?
Yeah,
Just your dumb stats you have to
I
worry
think
about.
it's even higher now. Well, thank you.
We all
Oh,
got
no,
one.
it is a 7. Yeah, everybody makes mistakes. Okay. Yep, Willow nods. They know that quite well then. Cool,
Yeah.
good to know.
On the topic of
Alright.
Arl,
You first.
on the topic of Arl, during the auction, I think you noticed she left, and we know, gestures to Luca, that she left to look for Tarek at that time. And she caught him talking to Arl, but that might not be the actual Arl. When she saw Tarek, he glared at her, and he pressed that point very hard, as if it was unusual. At this point, we're pretty sure at least Tarek was an illusion of some sort, and Arl never mentioned speaking to him, even when he spilled his guts to Brina that one night. So...
Question,
that's-
do I know about that?
And
now.
would have told you.
Oh, yeah,
and has
that's
been
right, you
going
told me.
over the case with you
Yeah.
Yes. Willow
now that
kind of
things are
smirk at that memory.
wrapped up.
Yes, I forgot. Okay, cool. Carry on.
No
Zach.
longer bound by contract.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So make of that what you will. And we know that Tarek saw Miraldine, but it wasn't Miraldine, so there's just a whole bunch of illusions at play that night. That's not relevant. Miraldine was the one who recommended the studio that Tarek got his portrait painted from, but she wasn't involved in anything else. Tarek was the one who, I'm not entirely sure if he picked, at this point, if he picked Warfred or if Warfred volunteered, but Miraldine didn't choose Warfred is the point. Nor did she choose the place where the portrait was painted. That was all handled on Tarek's end. For whatever that's worth.
Willow nods. I think Willow might have brought out their book now to start sort of jotting notes.
Yeah. And she didn't know much about Edmund, from what I could tell. But she was approached by him, asking for the rights to Tarek's play. Which is information we had, but Ben shrugs. Now we have confirmation. All over the place.
I'm gonna glance at N now. How do they seem about Edmund? The mention of Edmund. In the sense of, do I need to insight check you? Just in the sense of like, do you have any remaining frustrations about that angle? Because we kind of didn't get to prove anything with regards to Edmund.
Yeah, I think it's like you can see the average amount of irritation about the subject, but it's not overwhelming or making them seethe. It's just like, that's annoying, that's a thorn, but it's a fact, so we move on.
Yeah.
This is this is a later project.
Yeah.
Like that. That's a thing on the to-do list.
Yeah, that's on the list, and it's still on N's mind, and it's still grating, but it's not like, I'm gonna check out of the conversation to seethe in the corner now, goodbye.
Yeah, that's fair. Not like me the other night when you guys brought up Miraldine and I just sort of stopped listening. Okay, Willow's going to then mention, and so you told her about Edmund after seeing her meet up with him?
Well,
Told her about his...
A couple times. Kai spoke to her and warned her that he wasn't a good man to get involved with, because Kai hinted at the fact that he had had some troubling encounters with the men in the past. And then Audrey, while investigating Tarek's apartment, discovered the letter from Edmund and brought up Edmund to Miraldine at that time. Asked her what she knew about the man and what she knew about the contact. Never brought up that she saw Edmund and Miraldine speaking together, nor did she directly link Edmund to, like, say, a Snapdragon pin. But she did question Miraldine about that. There's more I was hoping to ask her on that front, but I'm not sure how far it would get me. My contact has kind of been cut off with her at this point. I don't have a good reason to approach her.
Well, nothing more frustrating than unasked questions. What were you hoping to say?
Let's see. Oh, I seem to recall her saying that she had reasons to be leery of Mr. Beckett. And that might be the obvious ones, but it never hurts to ask if she had particular reasons. I wanted to ask if Tarek had reasons to reject Edmund that went beyond the letter we saw. Just if either of them had particular insights on the man. Did they ever meet beyond what I saw Miraldine and Edmund speak about? Did Tarek and Edmund ever meet? It seems unlikely from their correspondence, but again, doesn't hurt to ask. Edmund has seen the play. Obviously, because I saw him on the night. That's the first time I saw him. But did he have contact with Tarek on that night? Did he have contact with anyone else? Anyone else being Miraldine? And I guess the butler, if the butler approached either of them at the gallery. The dead butler. I'm not sure that's important now. I guess it still is.
It makes you happy.
I meant if Alonso went ahead and spoke to Miraldine and Tarek. But yes, the blunt fact that he is missing his head does make me very happy. And also I was hoping to ask if anyone else had approached her regarding Tarek's work changing hands or coming to Sharn, right? Just because Edmund has an interest doesn't mean he's the only one playing that angle. Can Anne think again about what exactly Edmund's angle with Tarek's play might have been?
Well, yeah, actually, I think this would be an investigation role because you are sort of comparing what you know from the murder investigation with what you have scraped from the Nothic.
Okay, so just a flat investigation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay.
It seemed to be in much the sense of, like, the Snapdragon Theatre was very prone to putting on dramatic plays, tragedies, and stuff like that. And that sort of attraction to tragedy seems to be a prerequisite for becoming a member of the cult.
Right. That makes sense. So I think En's gonna, like, sit there for a moment, and you can tell they're deep in thought, and then they're going to repeat that information.
You're unsure if there was anything deeper to it than that, but certainly it would be, like, it's just the fact alone that it is a controversial and, like, deeply affecting piece of theater would be enough for the Snapdragons to want to at least be able to put it on as a front.
Yeah.
And a question with regards to what En said, do they think of anything else, like, in terms of, so Edmund seems to have this reputation for being like an art curator who like finds all the best and brings it to his studio or whatever. But like, is there that kind of like internal competition with others to expect? Like that Edmund didn't get it, but someone else might swoop in and get it? Is that like a reasonable thing to think?
There's nothing to disprove it or prove it.
Yeah, okay. Just a random speculative thought. Okay. Willow will nod in response to En saying that, because it's kind of a theory they had anyway, so they'll take that on board. That, you know, that the Edmund was just bringing it in because it's like, more peeps, more seats, tickets for our cult, woo! That kind of vibe. In those words exactly, I think. So yeah. Okay. Willow nods. So ends are all kind of based around Edmund and Mr. Brackett. Can Willow interpret from that like End's questions are all Snapdragon related? And that Edmund, scrutiny around Edmund is kind of like fair game, because as long as you don't link it back to like, you know, he fucked me up specifically, because I can link it to Wolfred.
I mean, I think End's like, Damon saw a silver pin on him.
True.
On Edmund.
I didn't even have to bring you into it at all, because Damon told me.
I didn't even see it, technically. Damon's the one who saw it, and he told me, so...
Yeah,
you guys never got close enough to back it. You guys never got close enough to back it on that night to see it yourself.
Fuck for that, considering everything that's gone down since.
Yeah.
Yep.
It
was a wise choice. It was a wise choice in the end of like, I don't want to get into his area of effect. Yeah. And like, while that certainly closed some opportunities for you, it also protected you from consequences.
Those opportunities were full of mines, so...
Yeah.
Here's an open door, there's also a grenade in your hand. Have fun!
So, okay, I have interpreted from that, like, basically how I've interpreted your thing about Audrey and Kai is, like, I can bring up Edmund, wiser not to bring it back to you, but to also bring it in from the angle that I know it, which is Wolfred and Damon. If needed. Specifically Wolfred if I need to, but, like, if I must, Damon.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Willow nods. Obviously, you guys are, like, Willow hasn't explained what they're thinking yet, but you guys are clear that they're writing down notes.
They're planning something, and it's gonna go ahead and assume it's a direct approach.
Yeah. You know, Willow might, off the back of that, mention, you know who did have more knowledge of Edmund Beckett was Baron Elar, right?
Well, he certainly played the game as if he didn't recognize Edmund, but... Initially, Edmund had to remind him in terms of what was played on the surface. But I wouldn't put it past Elar to know more than he let on in that moment.
Perhaps you could request an audience with him.
Yeah, funny that. That is what I was considering. I do still have a favor to cash in with Ryger. But someone else might have beat me to the punch, depending on who I'm meeting with sometime in the near future.
Tilt?
And gestures to Luca and Willow, like, okay, I guess we're bringing this up now. I went to speak with the Beast the other day to let them know I'm still alive. And and he dropped a job in my lap, or at least a job interview. He's very cagey about the details, so I'm not really sure what he or the client want from me, or even who the client is. But what I do know is that the client was keeping a close eye on the auction events themselves. Could be Tharani, could be someone else entirely.
Willow kind of brightens up and says, "It is a lead. So you're taking it?"
I'm going to go to the interview. We'll see if I pass or if it's worth my time.
Hmm.
I'm not in anything yet, but we'll see how it plays out.
Willow goes from big grin to kind of concerned furrow of the brow and like thinking of like who it could be. Who it could be. The only people coming to mind with my brain are like House Tharani and the, well, I guess the sea dragons, and also the officer lady that Damon brought in, the guard lady.
Mm-hmm.
Faction wise, that's assuming that it's not like a person. But did you imply that it was like a faction?
And has no idea, and just called them the client.
You have no idea?
Yep.
The client, capital C. Willow's pondering. I don't know if I can roll anything for this. I think it's just brain activity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Willow nods.
Another thing V said was that they're interested in keeping things running smoothly. Now, Vise is interested in keeping things bloodless, but Vise implied that these people might be not disinterested in that, but maybe more inclined to dirty their hands if need be. Thus the Tharani theory, but we'll see. Tharani has plenty of resources. I'm not entirely sure what they would gain by tapping into the Visage, but I can also see how they might.
Sea dragons also stab people.
They do.
Willow nods. And then I think, does that seem like the end of Miraldine related intel?
Yeah,
Seems so.
unless Willow has something specific.
Nothing
Luca,
they can
you don't have anything else?
think of.
Luca is just curious why this has come up.
Willow's writing notes. And I think at the end of it, they'll probably clap their book shut if it seems like you're both done. And
Okay.
return their pen to its pouch. Then look at you both, kind of in a way of like, if there's anything else you guys want to say.
Why the sudden interest in Captain Frostroot?
I take it back. Willow's still writing in their book when you ask this. Willow will mention, well, it's not a sudden interest. I've been interested in her this whole time. It's just that looking at her during the previous murder mystery would have been less of a boon than, not looking at her. So I just decided to avoid her. But now I'm at the stage where it seems less prudent to avoid her overall. So I think that she actually has garnered most of my attention by being the main outlier in the conclusion of this whole case, the main thing that we don't know anything about.
Do we need to know anything about her?
I think so. She's related to the life and death of Tarek Elam, and apparently she is a traitoress. There is the question of why she was not at the folly. Though I don't think I can bring that up. If I do speak to her, when I do speak to her.
It isn't information that we're really supposed to spread around.
No, of course, and I wouldn't jeopardize your jobs. Willow gives you a look. In short, Willow's flicking back through their notes. I plan to break into the Silver Dancer.
Oh, it's a good thing you have a favor with the Metanoia office, isn't it?
Oh,
Not
trust. I don't think.
Not that I don't have
that far
faith
from
in your skills.
Mm-hmm.
It's always good to have a backup.
You're just planning for the worst case scenario. Yes.
What are you hoping to achieve?
Answers.
Okay.
about?
Everything.
Regarding her position with the sea dragons, Tarek,
All
all
of
of the
it.
above. Well, can't blame you for trying.
Feel free to tell me. This is when Willow claps their book shut. Willow didn't even mean to be vague about that. They're just literally like, what do you want to know? Literally all of it. If I learn less, that's fine. But something, anything, it'd be good for me, and it just seems useful to do. And they are just not in the spirit of over-explaining that kind of logic.
Yep.
They'll clap their book shut now and say, so if you guys have any curiosities, feel free to let me know. Sometime during the week. I don't plan to rush there right now.
Ask her if she ever drank that tea.
No, that would implicate you.
Look around, see if you can find the box that Luca gave her, and if it has been used, if it's empty, if there's a
Yes.
stained teacup on her table.
Yes. Pivotal
Luca nods enthusiastically.
questions. A traitor within the sea dragons, and or has she drunk
Wait,
sleepy
who
sea?
Who told you she was a traitor? Do I know
Wolford.
this?
We did discuss it
Right.
together.
I don't trust Wilfred, but he was a mind reader, so whatever he saw might be interesting. I do trust you. Willow gestures vaguely at N. Well, your actions. Trustworthy captains don't tend to, hire changelings.
I have been
You don't
curious.
trust me because I can barely read, let alone read minds.
I trust you to make me a very good potion. Please. In fact, the fact that you can't read minds probably makes me trust you more. All things considered.
All
Willow
things
says.
considered. Honestly, most of the mind readers we've read, pretty sketchy, and I do have a Venn diagram that crosses over a little bit, so...
If I was being basally petty, I would be interested in why she wasn't at that play. But
She wasn't with Tarek, like I said, so... it's off somewhere else entirely. Having an affair.
what?
I do suspect that these things are related. So, with... if everything falls into place, which it won't. Willow says that in the way of nothing ever falls into place completely and solidly the way you want it to, but they'll say, I do believe that all of these answers will answer other questions.
It
All
does.
do with it.
It does feel like the events at the Folly were the beginning of a lot of things.
Could it not just be that she is, say, pocketing money that she shouldn't be?
Possibly.
Might as well
Something
find out.
as uninteresting as that.
Yep,
Oh well.
it's always possible. Sometimes it's a fair, sometimes it's a murder theater underneath the main theater.
With the beholder underneath.
The beholder further underneath, yes, just keep going down the layers like a cake. Tastes like shit.
Well, you don't know what a beholder tastes like.
I'm talking
hey,
more
other
about the
people are saying-
experience than the actual flesh, Luca.
It might taste
think-
nice meat.
Willow's packing up. If you need me, I'll be at my
Willow,
boat.
do you want to make an Willow, I think you can
Well-
definitively say aberrations taste bad.
Yeah.
That
No,
was
yes,
one
okay, I
of the
think-
things that you know from your many hours of study about aberrations.
Don't eat them!
Okay. Willow's packing up their stuff with I don't want to be drawn into another conversation. Also, you guys have a work day to return to. But also just before they leave, they will definitively say with both hands on the table, I've done extensive research. I didn't come up with all the answers, but I can say they would not taste very good.
Luca raises an eyebrow. Does that include experimentation
They
yourself?
would not taste very good.
He's asking if you've eaten an aberration before.
No, I did not lick the helmet. So what are you saying?
Oh, I don't know
What
what
context
kind of
do they have in-
research you do.
Willow's gonna
Reading
leave.
a book.
Hands gathering
Who's
up the
looks at you?
dishes.
Oh, Willow's going to also say, did you end up giving those samples to Secret Elsa to have a look at?
No thoughts behind the eyes that he's giving you.
I'm gonna take that as a no.
I think you did actually. You did give the
It's been like 2 weeks.
Warfred scraps.
Yeah, he probably did, but he doesn't really remember what you're talking about.
Or
It
like
was
why you
just
did it?
confirmation. It
Yeah.
was just confirmation of what you already knew, which was aberrant readings and poisoned dwarf flesh.
Poison dwarf flesh and aberrant readings?
Aberrant.
As in, like,
Like aberration related.
Aberration,
Like the symbiote
yes.
helm had changed his biology. Yeah?
yes.
Yeah, Willow's still asking because they wanted to hear like Secret Elsa's expert opinion.
Did she?
Well,
want
you
us to
shouldn't
do
have
that?
asked it from Luca.
Yeah. If you prompt him, he'll probably remember.
I just did. That's what. Did
But you
get
need
the
to
tissue
prompt him with
samples
the
over?
words, what those samples of Warford's skin.
The Warfred, the tissue sample, the from healing Warfred after the.
Luca nods. Nothing we didn't already know.
Willow would like to know what Zeke just told me. So like, yeah,
Yeah.
please like let them know because they didn't know that. They wanted to have scientific like or whatever else it is,
okay.
medical confirmation that he was.
I'm sure Luca can
infected
go
by the
and
helmet.
find the actual report that Seeker also wrote up because it's like
Yes. He would.
documentation is important. So that's
Yes.
probably what happens.
Yeah.
Willow is able to see that little bit and be
Make
like,
notes
okay,
of their own if they like.
Yeah, because I had like what's the word? Speculative thoughts
Yeah.
that he had been like infected by the aberration, like which is why he would have been affected by the sword if I hit him.
yes,
Differently because he was poisoned by the aberration. The symbiote helm had
Yes.
started like sharing his actual
Yes.
biology, which is symbiote.
Yes.
Okay, cool, good to know. I wanted Elsa's confirmation on that.
yes.
So Willow will accept. I
If
imagine
you-
Luca being like, "Oh," and then going and getting it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you, Willow will
yeah.
say.
So yes, if he had been hit with the sword, it would have done damage to him like that because he had been wearing it for a very long time.
Yes. Cool. Good to know. Willow is glad. Okay. I think that's the end of that.
Mm-hmm. We shall move forward in time to the evening. Luca sets off to go train with Seeker Nereus.
Yes,
I
sir.
imagine that you walk out of salvage and then summon your steed so that you could ride to
Yes.
Regalport.
Yes.
Ooh.
You have not yet revealed your steed to anybody else.
No.
A secret.
For now, it's a secret, yes.
Meanwhile, and you bed down for the night.
Yep. Hope
What do you dream about?
I dream I'm Thail.
Oh.
Thail has some things on his mind. He dreams of the place where Alonso was executed. It's empty now. There's no body here. Just the remnants, the stain. No one around. But the memory. The memory of the Nothic being killed here. That whole saga ended right here. It just kind of exists in the copy of that space, of N's memory of it, but without anyone around, so he's free to be.
Mm-hmm. I think Thail feels the familiar presence of the eye. This time not in the guise of Audrey, but just around.
Yeah. After some time standing in silence, pacing slowly around the space and taking it in, he begins to speak to the empty air. I believe I no longer want to hide from N, at least.
Well then, I think that's entirely within your power to do.
It is, but by remembering me, N will have knowledge of your behavior. I think it is fair to warn you.
I already knew the consequences of my actions when I undertook them. That being said, it would be nice if you could put in a good word for me.
There is every chance N may bury me again. I am not a happy memory. And yes, they may not be terribly charitable with you, either, at least initially. But I want you to know that I appreciate what you've done for me. And no matter what N might say, they and I are the same person. So thank you.
You're welcome, Thail.
Thail does a little arm across his chest bow. Like he's taking the stage and he's doing the curtain call.
You spot the shadow of an outline of that seems similar to Audrey's shape, mirror the gesture, and then fade into nothing.
Thail is going to go for the doors of the execution field. And when he steps through those doors, it doesn't take him to the Port Authority or Regal Port or Salvage. It takes him back to the theater, the entrance of the theater, to the dark place that exists outside of the theater, to this dark version of Sharn.
You turn away from the burning entrance of the Snapdragon Theater, and we see Thail traverse the dark, empty dream of Sharn. Free to step out of the Smoky Towers district and across the bridge that connects to the Memphis Plateau to Tavek's Landing. Following a familiar path, he finds a narrow, dilapidated staircase wedged in a crevice between two establishments. Ascending, he's stopped short by the sight of a shadowy figure standing sentry on the steps. The Dark One, Kai, unmoving, unflinching, glaring at Thail, obstructing the path forward.
Yeah, despite the clear warning behind Kai's glare, Thail closes the distance between them. You saw it, didn't you? Nothic is dead, and conquered it with such unfathomable ease.
They did, and I will not have them falter now.
I know what you're afraid of.
Kai's eyes narrows.
I know because I also fear it. Losing end to the void. I stood on the edge of that crushing despair for years. I'm all too familiar with the siren song, the loss of will. But I survived it. Not by hiding, but by living. I survived to tell my story to N.
You did your job. Now go back to sleep.
When I faced that oblivion for the second time, you held my shoulder. Even in the thralls of my terror, you reminded me that I would wake from it. You are still the guardian that has kept N safe all this time, that will not fail now.
There's no need to put N through this.
You won't ignore an open wound, would you? Can you not recognize the correlation? It is by opening my eyes, by ending the nightmare of my burning coffin, that N could finally see the truth of Reedfoot, could banish our fears of the unknown and fight back. Thail steps forward.
Kai lunges, seizing Thail's collar to pin him in place, halting all hope of a dance.
Thail grabs at Kai's arms, refusing to be pushed away.
Locked in stalemate. The two stare each other down. Kai says, I kept your fears silent. Stay that way.
You don't agree with her, do you? That N's emotions make them weak? Of course not. Your wish is to protect N as they are now. And you must accept that sometimes these emotions will be difficult. Trust that I also want to protect N.
You can't even protect yourself.
But if something as simple as my tears can give N the courage to slay snapdragons, imagine what dominion over me could do. Allow N to choose.
Kai's fist tightens on Thail's collar. N has made it clear what I do with you.
Yes, but for as long as I lay dormant, I remain a weapon to be used against them. No more secrets. Do not deny N the tools they need to survive.
A long silence. Kai, unmoving, unflinching. Thail, trembling but unwavering. Slowly, finally, Kai's hands release Thail. If, even for a second, I feel N slipping away, I will put an end to you.
I would expect nothing less, Kai.
Thail. With that, Kai steps aside, his form melting into watchful shadows among the brickwork. And so Thail ascends. Thail enters a small apartment. It doesn't offer much beyond its four walls and familiarity. Surface is bare and walls stripped of any adornments, save a clock and a few children's drawings. A kitchen is shoved into one corner, a dirty pot waiting attention in its sink, while two beds dressed in old quilts sit parallel against opposing walls. One bed is occupied. And peers up from their journal. Their eyes meet Thail's. All at once, they know. Thail is alive.
With that knowledge, they wake up. Startled from a nightmare, but it's not as clear-cut as the emotions of a nightmare. This confused influx of memories, not dissimilar to what they took from Alonzo, but more personal. It's them. It's all them. It's like deja vu. It didn't come from the outside, it came from inside, and all at once, all those memories, being under the stars, of crying, of talking to Elsa, it all comes back. Of the eye. Of Idri. And is sat up on their feet before they even process fully what they are remembering. What time of morning, night, day is it?
I think it's just before dawn.
and goes to the window and like pulls the curtains aside to check the light out.
You
If
can
there's
see
any.
the graying of light rising early. I mean, dawn arrives pretty early these days in the summer, but
Tapping at their
sunrise
hand.
is maybe 15 minutes away or so.
Grounding themselves.
You feel electric.
Yeah.
A live wire.
Yeah, and starts speaking aloud because of that pent-up energy. They don't really know. They're not really very in control at this moment. A grin spreads on their face. They kind of push off the window where the curtain is pulled away. For my own good, right? What happens when the day comes that you decide immortality is for my own good, and then, whoops, I'm a Nothic? You know the
You-
last...
You don't hear a response.
You know the last person who gave me tools to succeed and power? Power that felt so good to wield. She molded me into what she thought was best, never asked what I wanted. And the eye might not respond, but a reflection in the window responds. It did ask. I cannot deny it has moved me, but never so against my will that I could be called a puppet. When I only wanted to sleep, it allowed me. When I wanted to stand under the stars, it allowed me. You can't say the same for yourself, can you? Are you afraid of it? Or are you afraid of me? And staring at the reflection in the window, they're not N when they look in that reflection. They see Thail speaking to them, and it's just... It snaps them back into their body, but it also overwhelms them. They shut the fuck up, and they go to their desk, and they yank out a scrap of paper, and they try and write something down, but their hand shakes at first. They throw that first attempt away. They go at it again. This time, just a simple note saying that they're going to Regalport, going for a walk. They're going to be away for the day. They just need to get out. They just need to get out of this room. They need to get a walk. They need to get this energy out before it goes somewhere they don't want it to go. They're going to take that note. They're going to try and get out of the poppy. Slap that note down on the kitchen table.
Mm-hmm.
And leave.
You head out into the fresh morning air, sun rising, as you head out to Regalport by way of foot. A long walk to
Yeah, not even the ferry.
to try and quell the storm inside your head. There's a lot to think about. And the eye remains silent throughout. Does not offer any input as you contemplate everything that has happened.
Oh, good, because I'm not talking to it either right now.
We cut away briefly from N. Luca, the late night training sessions have disrupted your schedule a bit, so you are sleeping a little bit later in the mornings and are a bit drowsy when you wake up. Secret also informs you of the note that N left.
Can I see it?
Yeah. It's just a note saying that they've gone to Regalport and
run some
We'll
errands.
be back later. Yeah.
Do I notice anything off?
Make an insight check.
Yeah, make an insight check.
Hey!
Damn.
Oh. I was
Good
gonna use N's passive deception
That
through
passes.
writing.
That goes
Yeah.
past it though, for sure.
Yeah. You see that like the writing is more jagged and rushed than perhaps usual. So it seems like N might have had a bit of a stressful dream and gone out.
Okay. All right.
But you don't necessarily doubt their word that they will be back.
No. I'll just prepare for them to come back sad.
That's fair. So, you continue your day's work. Willow, how's the tinkering going on this morning of the 16th?
Good, I hope. I think small
Do we
explosion
wanna-
heard.
Do we want to roll a tinker's check with advantage for Fish Dog and have a little scene of how that's going?
Yes, I do. Tinker's jewels.
Damn.
Yeah, okay.
Haha. Hoo-hoo. Guess I'm winning.
Yeah, it's been a while since you've hit the books and hit your workshop in this way.
Mhm.
You also have a bunch of materials from all the repair work that you've been doing. You already had like some of it that was like collated, but I think you've done the thing of completely emptying your party pockets of all the materials, sorting it meticulously, and as you're sorting, you're like, I have an idea for this. I have an idea for this. And you've got like this, like, your notebook has like sort of sketches and scrawlings of diagrams and notes for inventions and gadgets and like ways to use spells that you're familiar with in a way that'll work better for you and your allies. I think we see sort of the glow of forge light on your glasses as you pull out like this little fiddly bit of brass to work into the correct shape for your new retrofitted crossbow, which no longer looks capable of shooting regular bolts, let's say.
Oh.
If I may describe it.
Yes, please.
So I think the first time you guys saw this crossbow was when it shot Duncan with an actual
Yeah.
crossbow bolt. And I described it at the time as being like a crossbow shape, but with the little cross part kind of not there, so it's more streamlined. That's happened again. I would say more so than it being not there is likely the fact that it's kind of like a spring-loaded, folded back in. So like it looks very sleek when it first happens, but like probably when Willow shot it, it would either like magically have the little cross part, or it would like otherwise flick out. I think it actually was magical. But anyway, at this stage, it is clearly like there is a crossbow in there, but it's just kind of locked in. And then on top of that, other than the kind of like mix of the natural crossbow wood and then the metal, there's like that kind of typical willowish gold finish that is on everything that they control, is on all of their armor. It's which I've always interpreted as like something that carries the magical energy through it, sort of like a conductor, like a wire conductor.
Yeah.
So everywhere that you see that, you know that Willow's armor is, or Willow's magic is kind of present or moving through it like a current. So that's in the detailing of this little crossbow. That is very nicely shaped to Willow's hand, and there are a few dials on it on the side that wouldn't be typical of a crossbow at all. Yeah, so like at least one larger gold disc with ridges on it that looks like it can be turned. Rather, you probably see Willow kind of clicking it into multiple different positions, with no clear idea of what that is doing. And the other smaller dials that also seem to just be doing stuff. It is a very like every piece of this, what you would assume is a weapon, because it is a crossbow, seems like there is a lot of hidden stuff in it that Willow is sort of getting into the process of knowing how to click. A lot of them, most of them with one hand, but some of them with their other hand. And they're just kind of getting used to holding it. There's all different sorts of clicky bits on it.
Yep. Switches and dials.
Mhm.
It's verifiably a gadget at this point.
Okay.
Hardly,
Fancy.
barely seems like a crossbow at this point.
Yeah.
Certainly, you would not be able to use it to fire a regular bolt anymore. But
No.
who needs that when whatever
Your Willow
upgrades
Jenkins.
Willow has made are clearly going to be so much more.
Yeah. You can tell Willow's like practicing like little spin, aim, but it doesn't seem superfluous. The spinning of it in the same way that the spinning of their sword back and forth over their hand, they're spinning this in the same way back and forth over their finger, and it seems to be part of a magical maneuver.
Yeah. Practicing your somatic components.
Yeah. I will also say there is that little, if you've seen a flintlock gun, there's that little like hammer thingy on it that looks like it's going to like do something that Willow is clicking back and forth, but again, you're not entirely sure what it's doing because there is no sign of any kind of violent element to it.
Yeah.
The casing of it is definitely there.
There's no bullets in this thing, no bolts, no ammunition whatsoever, but something is going to happen with this that Willow is clearly rehearsing. That's your days.
Yeah.
N is Kai, but to check their mail. Because they're in Regalport anyway, they might as well check to see if Vis has gotten back to them yet.
Yeah. There is a note from Vis. Saying that they will meet with the contact on the 20th at a somewhat shady bar. In fact, the same shady bar that you met Vis at, named The Last Call.
Alright, makes sense. But it's not today. So, I will tuck that note away for a later date. And eventually return to N shape. Which, such a strange rush of emotion going from Kai back to N when N's not explicitly using Kai to bury these feelings. They're trying to work through them themselves, but Kai does still serve his function of of acting as a stopper for like 10 minutes while he's getting the mail, and then it comes back. It's like a new hit of adrenaline.
Yeah.
I think without even really recognizing where they're going, because they just kind of start to power walk, because they have all this energy and they don't know what to do with it and they don't want to lash out at something. Without even recognizing their trajectory or where they're going, they end up at Jaylee's studio.
Oh.
Just catch themselves standing outside and...
Yeah.
Oh.
You can see one of the flower-shaped pots that Jaylee was working on is on display in the window.
Oh. I think N kind of lingers on the sight of it for a moment. Might as well just go in and see if she's there.
Yeah.
And I'll push their way inside. Maybe they know the person at the front desk well enough now that they can just pass on by into the back room.
Yeah. I think you say hi and the person calls back, Jaylee, your friend is here. And she comes out. Happy to see you. About to go on her lunch break anyway, so...
Oh. Oh, great. I could use a walk. Or food, or both. Mind if I join you?
Please, she says. You both go off to...
Should
grab something to eat and...
Should I take her for pancakes today, or like... I still owe her that.
Here's the question. Does N need pancakes? Does N need emotional support pancakes? Roll a wisdom saving throw.
Thank you. Let's find out.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Your choice on whether you will indulge yourself in emotional support pancakes or not.
I have the power.
You have the power to decide your own fate. Does that fate include pancakes today?
Tiny shoulder Luca's like, treat yourself.
Thanks, Luca. You know what? Yeah, it's been like weeks since I made that promise anyway. Let's cash it in now. I'm here anyway.
Hell yeah, brunch pancakes.
Yeah.
I think you're offering to treat Jaylee.
Yeah.
I believe was the
Yep, I was
okay. Give me a persuasion check.
Okay. You gonna fight me on the bill?
No. It's something else.
Oh.
Oh. I think you see Jaylee looking at things and end up taking just a simple strawberry and cream crepe type thing. Not the most expensive thing, but like a little decadence.
Fair enough.
What do you get?
Probably the pancakes. Probably not like a huge stack, but
Yeah.
a couple big ones.
Nice. Yeah.
With fruit toppings, whatever's in season.
Yeah. 'Tis strawberry season, so.
Yeah.
So you get some fresh red berries with
Luca's
your
gonna
pancakes.
be so jealous.
Yeah.
Sorry, Luca.
You said treat yourself.
Yeah.
And treating themselves. Do be happy. for them.
Yeah.
Jaylee thanks you hugely for the brunch and asks you how things are. She heard the murder case is all wrapped up.
Yeah. And talked about it a bit before.
Mhm.
About how they cracked the case and she helped with that. I think they kind of wave off the conversation a bit on the case for the moment. And bring it back around to, I saw your vase in the window.
Oh, yeah, yeah, part of my new collection that I'm working on. What do you think?
It's beautiful. Are you planning to put the rest on display somewhere, or?
Well, we'll see what interest we get. Otherwise, I guess it might end up being a bit of a personal project.
You always need that. Keep me posted, though. I'd like to see the rest of it.
Oh, of course.
It's really impressive, you know. You working with that clay, it's like illusion magic.
I don't know, I'm...
What's your favorite part of the process?
Oh, I think probably... Oh, that's hard to say. I kind of like all of it, but I guess my favorite moment is taking things out of the kiln ready to be glazed, because that sort of feels like the final moments when you can really put color and life into it. Like the shape is already there, and it's just the last few touches of glazing it and refining it, and then seeing, well, one, that nothing's exploded, because that can happen sometimes. Things
Very
break in the
important.
kiln. But yeah, just sort of that last bit of dunking it in the slip, or painting on the glaze.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
must be really
just-
satisfying.
It is. It also makes kind of a funny noise.
Oh. What's it sound like?
Uh,
Give me your best imitation.
it sort of sounds like water draining. It's like a... I don't want to do it. It sounds... if I tried to do that, it'd just sound like slurping, and that's... Nobody wants to hear that.
Alright, I'll let you off the hook this one time.
But yeah, it's
very cool what you do.
thank you. She sort of tucks up a bit of hair behind her ear, smiles.
My mother and papa had this ceramic teapot. It's this pretty blue color, and I was pretty young, so I don't remember it perfectly. But I remember the handle was shaped like a little bird.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Yeah, I think I thought it was too lovely. I kind of made it into a toy for myself, and I'm sure you know ceramics aren't exactly the best thing for, let's say, a 4-year-old to play with.
Ooh, yeah, they can be a bit heavy, so easy to drop.
Yeah. So I got the bird off, but that wasn't really what I was hoping to achieve. I didn't want to destroy the thing, I just wanted to look at the pretty bird.
She gives you a sympathetic look.
Parents are really great about it, though. They love that thing, but... you can always find someone to make something just as beautiful. Can't replace a kid.
No. I mean, a teapot can be fixed. If it's not too broken.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you fix something, it makes it prettier. Depending on how you fix it.
Gives it character. I don't really
Yeah.
remember what happened to it after that. I hope my papa got it fixed. Seems like something he would do. He was the crafty sort. You said you were from Berlin, but I don't think I ever caught whereabouts.
Oh, it was this small town on the west front. It was Ardev.
Ah.
It's sort of west of the headwaters of the dagger.
Right, right. Well, it's not so far from my papa's hometown, Ringmire.
Oh yeah, that's like a couple days away.
Yeah, not far. I've never been, but he told me stories. Very different from Sharn, as I understand.
Yeah, I don't think anywhere compares to Sharn.
So I've heard. You miss it?
Ardev?
Yeah.
Sometimes. I think I mostly miss the feeling of being a little kid in a small village, you know, when every day was sort of full of adventure and you didn't really have to worry that much about stuff.
Yeah.
Though I think now that I'm older, I can kind of see my parents being a lot more worried and trying to make sure I was not.
Oh, were you a troublemaker as a little Jaylee?
No, I just a daydreamer.
Uh-huh. To keep you from walking into the ocean?
That would
It'd be quite a feat.
Yeah, considering that I don't think we're anywhere near the sea in Ardev. We were closer to the mountains.
Walking
You can
into
see
the
the
mountains,
gray
I
walls.
suppose, would be the more
Yeah.
accurate way to describe that. Well,
Mhm.
glad they caught you.
I think I used to just sit and stare at the mountains with the clouds and imagine riding wyverns or giant eagles or that sort of thing.
And they're gonna clap their hands together and use minor illusion to try and paint that picture of the mountains in their hands, like a little vision of mountains and clouds with static because it's a minor illusion.
Yeah.
It can't do animated, but with spots of wyverns and other flying creatures
Yeah.
over the mountains.
Yeah. You create a little painted picture in the palms of your hands of that scene as you imagine it. Jaylee gasps and leans in over to look at your hands and tries to look at it from various angles and is just astounded and speechless, honestly.
Yeah, and just smiling and holding their hands out there to let her admire it. I imagine it's almost like the best way I can think to describe it is like a hologram coming out of their palms, and they're holding it like a little painted scene in the air.
Yeah. That's amazing, Caster.
Little trick I picked up back in Sharn.
Honestly, at this point, I don't know what you can't do.
Stick around long enough, I'm sure you'll figure something out.
Maybe. Kind of doubt it. You seem pretty amazing.
Okay. Like, waves it off.
She laughs and sort of ducks her chin.
I mean, have I said thank you to you enough? I feel like I haven't.
You really don't need to. I mean, you saved my life and everything. I feel like it should be the other way around.
I already told you. He wasn't after you. Oh, you mean the
Still.
zombies. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been a month, Jaylee.
I can imagine if you forget that. You must have been up to so much if saving somebody's life seems
No, it's not.
low.
It's not that. Just I feel like a sharp girl like you's probably figured out that Mr. Reedfoot and I met in Sharn. And says, like, on the down low, leaning in.
I wondered about that. He kind of said something to imply that, but I wasn't sure what he meant.
Yeah,
really.
he was being a bit obtuse. Yeah. Oh, as you all know at this point, Sir Beckett got involved in a pretty shady art scene back there.
You mentioned, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I ended up finding out a bit too much about their dirty deals. Really nasty stuff.
Oh no.
And, well, I'm sure you can see why I was so adamant about you not becoming too involved with him in that case.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And, well, that's kind of the reason I'm not in Sharn anymore, is that guy.
Oh.
So, maybe you can understand where my brain has been at.
Yeah. Is it okay if I ask you a question about that?
Go ahead.
Were you in trouble with the Boromar or something?
Can I insight check that?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Hello.
Okay, so
Oh.
what you see that Jaylee has assumed is that by shady art dealings, she assumes that Beckett is dealing in stolen art.
I see.
And the only real crime syndicate she knows of is the Boromar.
Yeah, and kind of tilts their head at that. I mean, I can't count it out, but that was not among the nasty stuff that he was specifically involved in. I didn't really get a chance to dig at the time.
Oh. Yeah, I guess a man as rich as Edmund Beckett probably has, goons of his own?
No, I'd say Reedfoot was one of them, but not the last.
Hmm.
The point is that the meeting we had with Reedfoot was invaluable. Like I said the other day, it's thanks to what I gleaned from it that I was able to make sure he couldn't do the same thing he was doing in Sharn in Regalport.
Oh, well, that's a relief. Glad to hear that.
Yeah. Though, of course, if he tries to contact you again, you know what to do.
She nods. You'll be the first to know.
Thanks. Ideally, scared him off for now.
Yeah, I hope so.
The best part is, you helped make sure he, Reedfoot, didn't get the jump on me again, like last time. So, it was smart of you to think we should meet him together.
I'm glad.
And I'm glad I was able to save you. Not because you helped me. Just because you might think I'm infallible, but I've had a lot of losses packed under my belt for a long time, so...
Well, I hope this is a sign your luck is changing, then.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
I don't mean to unload on you. Are you alright?
Oh, I'm okay. Please, it's you can talk to me about anything you want.
Likewise.
Well, I don't really have much to talk about lately except pottery, so you go ahead.
Alright. Well. You're still free to write me letters about anything you feel like talking about. That offer is still on the table.
You too.
And I guess while I have you here, you're the wise one between us. Can I pick your brain?
Sure?
Alright. Might sound a bit odd, but what would you do if a friend did something behind your back for your own good, and they weren't even wrong to do it? In fact, it was a good thing they did it, but they still kind of betrayed your trust.
Oh, gosh. I mean, I guess it depends on what the thing was. Though if it was ultimately for the best, and I don't know. That seems tricky.
Yeah.
I guess I'd be pretty upset at them at first, and maybe tell them to make sure to ask me first before they did that kind of thing. Even if their intentions were good. If they're a friend of mine, then surely they'd want to at least talk to me about it first. But yeah, I guess it depends. I don't know.
It's tricky. Just helpful to hear another perspective.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be the, and does air quotes, right answer. Just whatever you think.
I think sometimes with people there are no right answers.
No, I agree with
There's
you there.
just the best you can do at the time.
Yeah. No. Thank you for your honest opinion.
Of course. It's the least I can do. I do like talking to you.
Oh, same to you.
Make an insight check.
Okay.
I'll contest this.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Oh. She seems genuine.
Good.
I think you have finished your meals and paid the bill and everything. I'll bill you later for pancakes.
Yeah, cool.
It's probably like a silver.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Jaylee has to get back to work.
Yeah, and we'll walk her back to the studio. And as they're starting to let her off, they're like, I think I remembered one thing about my papa.
Oh, yeah?
He'd be relieved I finally made a friend like you.
Well, I'm glad he approves.
Yeah, I think he would. And it's gonna, like, pat her shoulder and wave her off. Better get back to it.
Make one. Yeah, make one last insight check.
Oh my god. Please.
Oh,
Yes, 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 yes.
like as you pat her shoulder, you feel a little jolt, not like a flinch or anything, but like a little jolt, and you see a bit of a blush across her face, and she sort of has this irrepressible smile as she waves you off and runs back inside.
Oh,
Oh my god. she's
my
crushing
god.
you. Hell
Oh my
yeah.
god. And
Same girl.
And you're not stupid.
oh!
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Even if you want to deny it, you know exactly in that moment, Jaylee has a little baby crush on you.
Oh my god.
And like stands there with her hand up for the wave, just stone solid for a minute, and then like slowly lowers her hand into a fist. And like, just said the thing about the dad. Great job.
You basically just introduced her to your parents. Like,
I'm glad he'd approve of me, Jaylee says, dying inside. Oh, and you idiot! And... Oh, did you just go on a date?
little baby date to go with the little baby crush.
Oh, my god, I can't believe you've done this. Oh my god. Need everyone to know that we've just spent the last 20 minutes going, ha ha, ha ha, at end for getting a Jaylee crush. Jaylee having a crush on their brother.
So, let us continue. I think we transfer back to and returning to salvage eventually after a long day.
Yeah, and I think walked to salvage and walked back, they just have so much pent up energy that just keeps getting revitalized with new issues.
Different energy now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they probably spent a long time going around Regoport doing fuck all, really.
Yeah.
And then walked back.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Do you think
yeah.
you got any grocery shopping done, or was that just blasted out of your mind completely?
Oh god. Can I roll for that?
Yeah, wisdom saving throw, please.
No. I don't know. Is that a 13 good enough?
I think it's good enough.
Okay. I think I disassociated half the time.
Yeah.
Went through the motions and woke up with curry powder. With a package of curry powder in my hands.
Yeah.
It's like this. Yeah, this seems about right.
Yeah, I think because you were spaced out so much, you got upsold a bunch of stuff that you didn't super need. So you have like more than you really need, but you have what you do need as well. So
Cool. Yeah. It's this
you got the full salesman pitch.
shopping therapy. I'm sure someone can use some shoe polish.
3 kilograms of turmeric. Or something.
Oh my god.
That's a bit too much.
Yeah,
but you
maybe
do have,
not.
like,
Luca uses
you
it
do
as
have, like-
skincare.
yellow.
What?
Good for your skin.
Oh, it's good. There is actually
Yeah.
skincare related around turmeric. Anyway, carry on.
I'm sure someone I can pawn this off on someone.
Yeah.
I'm already halfway back to salvage by the time I realize I'm carrying way too much for what I want to cook.
Yep. We'll figure out how bad exactly. Actually, roll a d10 for me.
Okay. 1d10.
Oof.
You spent 8 silver,
Cool.
Oh, bro.
which is quite a bit.
How am I even carrying all this home is my question at this point.
It's not
Yeah,
big
yeah.
stuff. It's just expensive stuff.
Vanilla pods.
Yeah.
You bought saffron, like just straight saffron.
Yep.
It's fine. I got paid recently.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah. Mood.
God, could I have spent today making a potion for Willow?
Ah.
Sure. You're not using the one that you've already made?
No, this is
Now he
a
wants to keep
bespoke
that one.
Willow potion.
Okay.
It's
Sure.
gonna have a little note tag with Willow written on the bottle
Oh.
Sure.
and a little bow, probably.
Yeah. How late does Luca stay up? Like, when is Luca?
He will wait till you come back,
Oh.
basically.
Good, because I probably put in the note, don't wait up. I don't think N comes back super late, but definitely, like, the sun is setting. The sun has set
Yeah.
by the time N
Yeah.
is busting their way back into salvage.
So about 9.
Yeah. Are you working on the bottle when N walks in? Haggard?
Probably putting like the finishing touches, making sure the bow is just so.
Yeah, you're like, this is the 3rd time you've retied the twine bow.
Yeah, and
There's a plate set aside of leftovers for N to eat dinner in case they haven't had any.
Yeah.
and N comes through the, like, side door through the garden at this time of day, probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go straight into the kitchen, which I imagine is where Luca is tying the bow.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, you're back late?
I told you not to wait up.
Well, I didn't, but I did. But I also didn't, so it's like, Looks at your shopping bag, looks at you like, what's that?
And looks at the shopping bag, looks back at Luca, looking exhausted. So I might have made a couple impulse purchases. I'm sure you've done that before.
Have I?
You have.
Yeah, probably.
in recent
yeah.
memory.
Oh yeah, yeah. Luca nods sagely. He takes the bag off you, I think,
Yeah,
or tries to, if you let him.
I think Anne will let him take it. Ask him
'Cause
to
it's
find
heavy.
a place for some of that
All
stuff.
the spices.
Yeah.
All of the spices Anne has gotten.
Yeah, I think one
I
thing,
think
if you don't
yeah.
mind, one thing that Luca pulls out while he's unpacking is actually a jar of red dragon fruit jam, and En's like, "When did I get that?"
Oh, comfort precious.
I feel like not only did En go shopping, but Audrey and Kai went shopping. En has just does not know where they are or who they've been.
Somehow even
Luca-
worse than when you left the house with Thail
Yeah.
reflection on the mind.
Luca kind
Just-
of ushers En to sit down and warms up their dinner.
I don't think En has eaten since the pancakes, so
Yeah.
The smell of food brings you back to reality. And the reality is, oh my god, I'm hungry.
now that's a reality I can accept. Especially with food right in front of me, so yeah, En's gonna probably wordlessly dig in.
What did you get up to today? Aside from jingles the bag a little bit.
And massages their brow. I went to check my mail. I have a date for that job interview I was talking about the other day.
Any love letters in there?
And gives you such a blank, almost Kai-like look. Well, I guess it remains to be seen on who I'm meeting with. Who my client is. No clues, just...
What if it is Ela?
Oh, I'll have my work cut out for me, won't I? The last time I met a near head of house, it went really well for me.
Luca's making a face. Like he's trying to figure out if Willow En saw someone at the auction. Now he's like, is it me? Was it Damon?
Oh my god.
Either way, that's on the 20th, so I have some days to mentally prepare.
Right.
And we'll see.
What is En's vibe overall?
Scattered?
Well,
Oh.
never mind me.
You know, I'm gonna see if I'll do a roll if I roll that one too. Okay.
No.
Aw, you don't suffer the
That is
Willow
the
curse,
opposite.
And
Oh wait, no, yes you do.
yeah, I have problems. And looks exhausted. I don't think that's hard to see, even on a nat 1, and just looks
Tired.
absolutely exhausted.
But not physically, just sort of mentally
Yeah.
did too much calculus and is now a little bit fried.
Okay.
Luca, actually, since I have you here. Anne's like been slouched over their meal eating and just kind of cries their head up to look at Luca like a physical effort, like their brain weighs a ton. Let me ask you something.
Luca nods, like, go ahead.
And trying to figure out how they're gonna word it. On minus 2% brain capacity. If a friend of yours did something for your own good behind your back, and it worked out well, what would you do?
Luca looks panic-stricken, like, was it me? Did I do something wrong?
No, it's not you. You're good. This is a hypothetical thought experiment.
Oh. Well, I'm not the best at experiments, but a friend did something that helped me. But
Did it behind your back.
Hmm. And they did it for my best interests?
For your own good.
Well, assuming we mean you and not me. Because I don't think my response would be much help.
I want to hear your honest opinion. I want to hear your perspective.
Well, for me, everything is a little bit behind my back, you know?
Right, because Ben makes a gesture at your head.
Hmm. I don't always understand why people do things, so I kind of have to be okay with it. And as long as it was for my best interests, and it was someone I trusted, then even if I felt hurt they did it without asking me, I think I'd be okay with it.
No. Thank you for your input. Give yourself more credit. You're good with emotions. Which is really what this could boil down to.
Is it that someone did something that they know you didn't want to do?
That would be part of it.
Hmm. Well, that does complicate it a little bit. But is it something that, if you were able to, you would do for yourself?
I'm not sure.
Hmm.
It's one of those things, I think, where you can't really do it alone.
That's the other part, isn't it? Sometimes you need someone to do something for you. Because
Sometimes.
it's something you wouldn't do yourself.
Sometimes there's things you need to do yourself with your own hands, and sometimes there are things you need to be given a little shove into. Yeah.
You can't replace a tree on your own. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is it something you'll want to share one day? Or should I just forget about it?
I think it'll come out one day, Luca. Just give it some time.
No. I'm not expecting anything, but if you need me to help with what this other friend did, then I'll be there for you.
Thanks.
I need to rough up this other friend a little bit. Be like, hey, you know what you did. Don't do it again.
Oh, you're that kind of connection, are you?
No, I don't think I could. You'd probably need Willow for that.
Willow? You read Willow as the type to take someone into an alleyway and give them a little what's for.
Well, it's between me and them. Lucas stops and his head tilts slightly. Maybe it is me.
I really can't imagine Willow just decking someone. You know? I mean, I imagine they could if push came to shove, honestly. But you're built better for it. And you're better for intimidation. Like, you wouldn't even have to deck a guy to give him a warning. You just have to show up in the alleyway and block the exit and give him a couple harsh words, and that'd be enough.
Yeah. See, I could do that really easy. I think I'd be good. I'd be good at that. Yeah.
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 Times that's all you need. It's just to make them think something bad's going to happen, but nothing bad's actually going to happen.
Though nothing bad's going to happen if I quietly go off in a back alley and threaten someone on your behalf.
Well, I'd like if you asked first.
We've come full circle.
Well, I think you've made it abundantly clear that you do not want to end up on the other side of this equation. That is the betrayal friend.
Luca looks thoughtful.
What's that face about?
Not sure what I would do. Being on the receiving end of help is one thing, but being the one to do it behind someone's back is something else.
Well,
What would you do? If it were for me?
if I tell you, that will kind of ruin the surprise, won't it?
Well, I won't know until it happens, so it's going to be a surprise either way.
I suppose, Luca, all I can say is that I'm stubborn.
This is
And
new information, yes.
if I see a way to help you, I might not always ask before I do it.
Mhm.
I'm a bit impulsive, too. You might have noticed.
Pinches his fingers like just a little bit. It's not a bad thing.
I will try not to betray your trust. But if it's the options become saving your life, letting you die, or betraying you, I think I'll choose the betrayal.
Luca is grinning like this is so ridiculous.
Yeah. It's giving a
I'll
little
keep that in
matter-of-fact
mind.
nod. They're also treating this a bit like a game.
Yeah. Well, I hope this friend remembers that even if it's for your good, they should apologize.
I guess we'll see.
Luca nods.
We'll end the scene there and move forward to when you are in your separate rooms.
Yeah.
Imagine, and you have pulled out your journal.
Yeah, and pulled it out and laid it on the table. They haven't opened it quite yet, but they stand over it at the desk with like their hands pressed into either side of the surface around the journal, staring down at it. Eventually they will start to flip it open. You asked if our arrangement changes in light of these new discoveries. It doesn't.
You feel sort of a tension that you didn't realize you were carrying ease. And the words appear on the page.
Glad to hear. I've got a peace offering. Think of it as an apology for the subterfuge.
Really? Alright. Lay it on me.
The eye directs you to look in the back of the book, the back of your Book of Shadows. A new page has appeared. It's paper like the rest of it, but with a strange gossamer tinge of blue and purple. The edges edged with the edges lined with black, like it's been scorched by fire. And the eye says,
Ask an ally to write a name on this page, and you'll be able to send them a message, no matter how far the distance between you.
Like the spell message, but long distance?
Something like that.
And puts their hand on the page and kind of just feels it under their fingers, basically seeing if it's real, what it feels like.
it is real, but it does have that magical quality to it that all of your spells do. You have an instinctive understanding of what this is. By the nature of the eye, this is your latest warlock invocation, Farscribe.
Yeah. And just stands in silence for a moment, their mind ticking over a lot of different thoughts about what they could use this for. Thank you.
No, thank you, and
And shrugs a bit. Sorry for raising my voice.
don't worry about it.
I did say one misstep isn't the end of our pact, so... About time we tested that. You're my eye. And I don't care that you're a seed, or that Aggie said you'd bloom, or that Alonzo said we're special. We don't torture ourselves over the what-ifs. We'll find answers. Together. I'm not going to abandon you.
The feeling is mutual. Though I think these days, maybe, it's less that I'm the seed and you're the soil, and more that I've become something for you to grow over. Like a trellis in a vine.
Maybe. Just means we're more tightly entwined, I'd say.
Who knows what heights we'll reach? But we'll reach them together.
Yeah. All the way to Skyway, if we're lucky. At least metaphorically. But do promise me that we won't seek immortality.
I don't think that's really what we're after.
No. I just remember one of your early requests was not to die, and as it stands, that's just dependent on me living, but between Islay and Alonzo...
Well, I don't want to be killed.
Oh, yes. Sentient undead was not my first angle.
Neither was it mine.
And we've seen what Norfolk is like.
Not an appealing alternative.
No. And I wouldn't
We write
mind.
our own fates.
They do. And I wouldn't mind if you asked next time, or you did the whole Thail thing. I understand why you did it.
I don't think I'll need to do that ever again. But if I did, I would ask first.
Good. Likewise, if our roles are ever reversed. Somehow. And just,
I think we end the scene there as
Yeah.
you sort of.
I think Ed's just kind of stroking their fingers over the page. Kind of both in a, thoughtful gesture to examine the page and its capabilities, but also just as kind of a symbol to the eye that they mean what they say.
We cut away from
New
N
spell. New spell.
to a different scene entirely. We see on a sterile metal table the helm of Phantasmagoria that was stolen from Fred Bartosz. Or rather, we should say, reclaimed. The top Canith specialist in Regalport, a Jurasco doctor with advice from a dwarven collector of symbionts, stand in preparation in an attempt to remove the eyes of Tarek Elham intact from the helm. The DC is 25.
Oh my god.
The doctor adds +8 to the roll and has advantage from assistance.
Good luck, guys. Good luck.
I need a 17.
Wait, so they need a 17 minimum? Oh my god. Everyone blow on those dice. From here. Only your lucky breaths.
We begin.
Okay.
First roll.
Wait.
No, that's
No,
and they
not
need a
yet.
17 plus 8.
Yeah, okay.
They got that just
Oh! Oh! Ooh!
Is that just for one eye?
That's for both eyes, but it's rolled with advantage. So the result was 17. The procedure was unsuccessful,
Oh my god.
but the eyes are not destroyed in the operation.
Oh.
Seems like they will have to rethink and recalibrate their approach.
Okay.
Okay. Thank goodness they did not get that one then, because I feel like that would have just destroyed them completely.
The helm blows up.
And the helm would have fallen
Yeah.
apart. Now all the eyeballs explode all of a sudden and massive modify memory and no one remembers why they came here. It just bursts out of it. Anyway, sorry. I'm so glad that there is another opportunity. Because
We'll see what happens next.
okay.
But I think at this point, it may delay the upcoming procedure of Tarek's resurrection.
Understandable.
Difficult news to impart on Captain Miraldine Frostroot. But as she sort of thumbs the hilt of her sword, takes a deep breath, she can wait. She can wait for things to be done correctly. We return to salvage the 17th. Willow, how's your inventing going?
Good, I reckon. I was gonna say one of the things I wouldn't mind making if I have 25 gold pieces worth of gold dust around. I wouldn't mind
I'm
making
sure
an
you
arcane
can-
lock.
I'm sure you can acquire that quite easily. Arcane Lock is a common spell, so the components are easy enough to procure, either by ordering them through the requisitions office of the dry docks or getting them yourself for Regal Court.
I don't think I would have them yet, Regal Port wise. So maybe I can do it after I come back from Regal Port, since I do have intentions to go there.
Yeah.
But my other question.
Mhm.
Well, then maybe this morning before I go anywhere, because I do think what's the date today? I might end up going somewhere today.
17th.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything else. So, well, I mean, other than work. But I think I might start my morning on, since I've unpacked my pockets and looked at all of my unfinished projects, some of which include the long overdue alarm system for the Nodding Poppy, which, I mean, I've had talks with Elsa about it, so I know it's not urgent.
Yeah.
It was also a lot for N, who has since grown more confident and blown up a Nothic in. I think Willow's back to like one of their old little things of trying to counterfeit Lazar's map.
All right.
Yeah.
In which case, I believe that will be. Do you have proficiency with calligrapher's tools?
I do not.
Okay, in which case, that will be a sleight of hand check. You may use Fish Dog as help.
Yes.
A pretty good copy
Cool.
you have created successfully. And this is one that has some false details on it, correct? Or is it
That
just
was
a
a plan
straight
a
up
while
copy?
ago, but it might just be a straight up copy now.
Okay. In which case, it is a decent copy.
I can always muck it up later if I find a reason to.
I guess so.
If I need to just, like leather stamps that take out chunks.
Yeah.
I'll just hit it with one of those over the X marks the spot moment. X space marks the well. Yeah,
Cut it in
I guess
half.
I can always tamper with it in other ways. Burns it.
Yeah.
Uses
But yeah,
it
for now,
as
good to
toilet
start with a good for it to yuck. Good to start with it as accurate, and then I can muck it up on a need to have basis.
Yeah, okay.
I don't have a spyglass, do I?
Nope.
'Cause I
Those
gave
are
it to
kind of
Varys.
expensive, yeah.
Yeah. I guess I need to borrow it from him, but that's okay, because I intend to see him anyway. Especially with my new plans in place, it seems useful to see him. Also, he was talking shit. So...
Well,
no time like the present?
I think you spend the day tinkering, and then we see Anne and Luca return the favor of bringing you dinner for a change.
Cool. Oh, okay. Now I get locked into the boat then. No offense. Yep.
Good food.
Yeah.
Also,
Okay,
Luca
food.
brings you a little potion.
Oh, cute. Okay, how does he present it to me?
Places it on the table with a little bit of fanfare.
Oh my god. Willow gives it the appropriate, if not a little bit of a condescending, wow. Like, but no, when they pick it up and they turn it over, you can tell that they are genuinely impressed, and they are curious about the process. Remember, they actually watched Miraldine doing herbalism stuff
Elsa
earlier,
or
so they are
Miraldine?
fast. Did I say Miraldine? Sorry, I'm a bit
You
of a
said
one-track mind
Miraldine.
at the moment.
I only know one woman in my life.
I
Yeah,
know one
Jaylee,
person
right?
At a time, every time.
Shut the
Yeah,
fuck
that's
up.
Anne. Okay, no, Willow's interested in this kind of stuff, and they're interested in the process. They'd be interested to see you do it, but like they're not going to give you that much, so they'll just say thank you and like be grateful. Willow might also look. I want them to make the arcane lock. I just don't have the stuff on me, unless I can imply that I got the stuff at another point previously. No, because I haven't had money for the past like month.
Can you grind gold coins into gold dust?
Is
Honestly,
that a thing?
yes.
Mood.
Because like,
Dang it! So I
if-
can just grind up
if
25
they're
gold.
made of gold,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Look at you, genius. Okay.
And here just in time to watch you grind gold coins into dust.
Yeah. That's fine. Okay, I feel like Willow would know that, but thank you, Sarah.
Yeah.
Willow's thrifty like that, but thank you for giving me some insight. So yeah, you guys are here probably watching Willow. Like, I meet you at the door, and then we
Yeah.
can take the food downstairs to eat, and there's just that like awful sound of like, like Willow just crushing gold pieces.
Looks at Luca.
How are they doing it?
And looks at Luca and points at the machine like, there's the blender.
I actually did offer to make Miraldine! Jesus!
You
I
got
did offer to make Seeker Elsa an automated mortar and pestle, didn't I? If
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
actually made it for her. So yeah, that's what Willow's using to grind the coins. I think
It's
they
like
started
industrial.
and then they leave it like a KitchenAid. It's like a
Yeah.
KitchenAid, but mortar and pestle.
I think Luca
Making
is a
a
little bit
bad sound.
interested in it, just because it's so weird.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Anne's like,
keep your hands away from it.
what can I drop in this? Now it's like, like a hydraulic compressor. I just want to see things get wrecked by this machine.
I think Willow evidently like they will put music on so that you don't have to sit there listening to the sound of gold being demolished. But yeah, thank
It's
you.
like
Brina.
a drum sander running.
Yeah.
Just take a full 25 gold off your character sheet. You've turned that into dust.
Yes, thank you, Sarah. Very clever.
Thank you.
Right.
Smart. So yeah, Willow's doing that. And let me just save that before I forget. Taking off. I have gold. Thank you, Brina.
Legend lady.
Yeah, look
I
at
need to
you.
put some of my gold in the bank. I've got too much on me.
Okay then, heavy pockets.
So much gold.
Oh no, I'm too rich. Oh. Okay.
Fill your bra with it, why don't you? Luca.
There's no space.
Join a cult about it. Okay. All right. Yeah. Will is doing that, and then you'll see them. I think beginning to. So we can eat upstairs. I wouldn't subject you to being downstairs in the gold dust of it
No.
all.
Nah.
But when I do go downstairs, you guys can probably spot Willow. They are working. The elemental door is open, and they're working on something on the inside of the door, like facing the elemental. And I imagine it's like this big, like if you guys get to see it, it's like this big, like elaborate. The things on the front of safes. What are they called again? Thail, I guess. And Willow's like carving it with like runes and stuff. But on the flip side of the door, like you don't really tell what it's doing. It just looks like a plain door. But then like when they touch it, you can see that like magic is glowing through the door in the circle shape of the lock. But only if you know. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. And fun fact, you guys are being given clearance.
Oh, we know the password?
There's no password. In this case,
We're
I wouldn't-
magically
let's
inside of it.
Let's read the description of Arcane Lock, because that's the spell
Yeah.
you're making.
Yes. So if you see there, you and the creatures you designate when you cast the spell can open the object normally.
Oh.
Oh.
I'm not telling you this.
No.
You guys, yeah.
But for the audience.
Yeah.
So you know.
And the players.
Yeah.
So we know that you love us.
Can I do an Arcana check to see if Anne's
You can
read
try.
about this
Yeah.
before?
Yeah, can we?
Yeah.
See how my -1 goes. Wow.
Oh my
Pretty
God.
door.
Ooh, cool door knocker. Seems a bit weird though. It's kind of a circle. How would it knock?
Why is it on the inside? Is it for the elemental to get out?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's so that the elemental can knock when it wants to go for a swim, and Willow can open the door.
Oh my
And
God.
Luca nods like, yeah, that makes sense. That's cool.
I feel like your nat 0 means that you are not only wrong, you're confident about it.
Do I get anything better than that?
He looks at N, and N looks at him like, yeah, you get it, right? And he's like, yeah, I get it. And they're just thinking two completely different things.
Yeah.
I think Anne can tell that Willow is installing some kind of magical lock on the door,
Yeah.
though you do not know the specifics of it.
And it's like, oh yeah, this makes sense. It's a sensitive object, that elemental. Yeah, nods at Luca like, yeah, makes sense. And Luca's like, yeah, makes sense.
It really does.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God. Thank you. You're silly. Oh my God.
I love the opportunity for nat zeros.
Yeah,
I know.
It's so funny.
Like, could you imagine if I had not like a not -1? What would the fun be?
None. All the fun would
Truly.
be sucked out.
So yeah,
We go to the
it's
night.
it's a team hangout.
Yeah.
Can I make an emotional insight check on Willow's vibes?
Yes.
Well, it's better than a 0.
Hmm. Can I have? Can I have? What's the word? What's the word?
Contest?
No, commissioned N to aid me in figuring out Willow's vibes.
Sure, give it another roll.
Because they're in on it. They know what I'm
Yeah.
doing.
Okay, that's what
Yeah.
this check is for.
Yeah.
Either N rolled separately or
there we go, you're
Oh,
good.
never mind. Never mind.
Holy
N's got you.
Thank you, N. Illy. So on a 23, please give me the deepest insights into Willow's emotional state.
Willow seems chill. Not chill, I would say, because they're being very productive, and I feel like there's a kind of I don't want to say mechanicalness. So there's like a they made us a break to eat so that they could go back to work better, you know, and they will take another 10-minute break to do other stuff and want to walk around, make tea, you know, do stuff. They're doing everything very I forgot the word.
Methodically.
Methodic. Thank you.
Yeah.
Methodically. So there is like in saying that methodicness means that they are they seem pretty level-headed. They are accomplishing the things they want to do, and they are always thinking. I think you'll notice them too, that they like keep coming back to the chess table and just like moving things around. It's not clear whether they're even using it to mean anything or if it just helps them think. Like tossing something around, placing it on the board, thinking, going back to something else, drinking tea, eating bread, going back to something else. It's very comfy with you guys here.
Yeah.
What about the lingering vibes of the whole Tarek situation? Is anything coming through?
I think Willow feels like, okay, I can. This feels like very mind ready. Willow will feel more settled if they are accomplish what it is that they're doing, and so that's why they're putting effort into making sure that they're doing everything right, or better than they did before. So of course it's all bothering them still. Of course they're still haunted by everything, but like they are committed to making it slightly better for themselves at least, or giving themselves a better chance at feeling better by doing the things that help them.
Yeah. I think the vibe in general is focused on the task at hand, although you do not necessarily know what that task is. But in general, they also seem like quite comfortable in your company regardless, so I think because they are focused, there's not really enough room for stuff to bother them right now. But they are thoughtful.
Okay.
I spot them at times, just kind of staring at nothing. Deep in thought. Not in a
Okay.
bad way.
Okay. Okay. Good.
And
Good to
Anne's
know.
telling you all this? In
I
a
think they're
corner?
like
No.
looking
No,
at
I
each
think-
other.
I think N engages Willow in conversation, and that's when Luca gets a chance to get a read on Willow.
Ah, right,
Mm.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how N is assisting in the inside check.
Yeah.
So like N's asking questions about like what you're doing and so on, and
Yeah. And
just
is
small talk.
genuinely curious, so it's easy to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have told you guys I'm breaking into the Silver Dancer, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
For
you guys
what
should make
end, you
another-
don't necessarily, the others don't necessarily know yet.
Oh my god, Luca tries to draw a map of the Silver Dancer from when they went on.
Aww. Oh, thanks.
It's not very good, but he gives it
Make
to
an
Willow.
intelligence check.
Yes, my skill.
This is intelligence.
Hey,
is
that's
equal
not
to
bad.
intelligence.
Luca.
Hey, pretty good.
Hey.
Yeah,
You're good
you
at
know.
scoping things out.
Yeah, you know where Miraldine's captain's quarters are, which is
Yeah.
on the quarterdeck at the back of the stern.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
Willow is very impressed with you. Thank you.
Luca gives you that information. Yeah.
Oh, that's so handy. That's so handy. Thank you. Willow was impressed. They're actually going to say, I was going to go to Varys for this.
Well, one less thing for him to be suspicious about. You don't want everyone knowing that you're a criminal.
I think we're well past that with Varys, but
Willow's chuffed. Thank you. They add that. They place that next to the chessboard. Can Willow have a blackboard? No, they don't have one yet. I want them to have a blackboard eventually, though, because they would.
That'll
slap
be
that on
one
the
of your
blackboard.
upgrades. That'll,
Yeah.
that will be one of your
make sure it's
scrap
a
bucket upgrades.
blackboard
like
that
to-
you can turn around, so both
course.
sides.
I was just gonna
yeah,
say.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Or
it
like it
not
folds
that
up into
much
the
space?
wall.
Yeah, it'll
Yeah.
have to be a folding one rather than a
Trust.
Flip
flipping
around
one.
It'll unfold. It'll be like a flip phone.
Yeah.
Nice.
Or anything else with hinges, like a ping pong table.
Yeah.
Yeah, Willow's chuffed. Thank you. Willow's impressed with that. And I think also they will discuss now like any of the other interesting tidbits about Miraldine, like, you know, how long she'd been dating Tarek. That'd be a good way for N to suss out too how Willow feels about
Yeah.
everything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question for N.
Yeah.
Are you going to test out your new page with your friends present?
You know what? Might as well.
Oh.
Might as well give it a try, see if it does what it said on the tin eyeball.
You also instinctively know that you can like erase names at your will.
Yeah. At your leisure.
Uh,
Oh my
Uh,
god, you have a death note.
that's what we're gonna
No.
find out, aren't we? Hey, Luca.
Oh my god.
Hit me.
Yeah, okay. I'll use both of you, actually. I was like, who I'll pick? I can pick more than one.
Yeah.
So Ed's gonna flip open their book to that page. Do Willow and Luca see the page as something
Yeah.
out of the ordinary, or?
Yeah, it does look.
Do you want us to?
It does look a little bit special. It is with your permission, so
Yeah,
I am
It
being
does look-
nosy, so yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking.
you see this page of paper that has this sort of gossamer tint to it and is edged as if it has been lightly burned.
Ooh.
and twirls a pencil and offers it to Luca. Why don't you two sign your name on the dotted line?
Oh no.
No.
Is this a contract that I can't see?
I'll erase your names as soon as we're done. We're just gonna have a little bit of an experiment.
Luca does it without thinking any further.
Willow folds their arms and watches what happens to Luca.
It
Nothing.
wouldn't hurt me much.
You want to sign, or
We'll see.
do you want to leave it to him? Because I'm gonna have to leave.
I'll stay with him. Willow says. They're curious, but they want to watch.
All right, and snaps the book shut, scoops it up, and walks off the boat,
Yep.
and just leaves.
They
When
watch
N
them
goes.
go.
Willow looks, the door closes, Willow looks at Luca's like, do you think they're coming back?
I just sold your identity, man. The
Hard
whole
to
thing.
tell with them.
This is my long con. Bye.
I'm
Forever.
gonna steal all my money from the bank.
Oh my god.
There's hundreds of gold in there.
So, like, on the other side of salvage, as far as N can
Yeah.
reasonably go, where they know that they're, like, not within message distance.
I think, I think you know that, like, all you need to do is, like, walk a certain amount of feet. You're very aware of how far message can reach.
Yeah.
I think you can successfully go, like, as far away as you want to test out this thing.
Yeah.
But maybe not walking entirely, like, away from everything.
Yeah. Just long enough, like,
Wise.
not just barely out of distance of message, like further than that, but not super
Yeah.
far away, because I do want to come
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. You walk a good distance away out of range of message.
Yeah. And flips open their journal again, and takes a deep breath, like, hope this works as intended, and I don't think about anything else while I do this. And we'll contact Luca. Hello?
You is that the only thing you write?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna see what comes back.
One thing only.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I'll know.
You write the word hello question mark on the page. Luca, you hear N's voice sort of distant and as if through the message spell say hello in your head, and you are able to reply in kind.
Whoa. Do I know that I can
What?
reply?
Yes.
Ooh, you just see O's going onto the page.
Willow's watching you like, what? What?
I'm like smacking Willow's arm, like, are you seeing this? Are you seeing this in
No.
your brain?
Seeing what?
I'm going to take that
Hold
as
on,
you can
hold
hear me.
Hold on. Ooh, are you seeing this? Are you seeing this in your brain? I'm counting words.
It's like,
Do you-
I can talk back to N! Exclamation point, smiley face.
It cuts off as I can talk back to. Actually, no. You have 4 more words.
Okay, okay. See,
What
this is
what
what
does
you-
Luca?
See, this is
what
what you
does
get
Luca-
for not participating.
See, this is what? Yeah.
Okay, and it's like I'll take that as you can hear me then.
Did you write that?
Yes.
Can I talk back?
Yeah.
Like, that's what's written. Can I talk back? And then Willow, what should I say to N?
Willow's just looking at you kind of cluelessly. Is this message?
Is this message? Question mark.
It's a little better than message, I think. And it's gonna point out an establishment that they can see, or like a building, so you know where they are in salvage.
Yeah,
like a
and as
notable
well
distance.
beyond. Yeah.
Ooh, they're at the crossroad.
I think Willow's gonna...
Which is like a 5-minute walk away from the docks, which is well
Yeah.
outside the range of message.
Willow, like, you just cut to the scene of, like, the front door of the scrap bucket being, like, barged open. And, like, Fish Dog zips out to check the surrounding area within message distance of, like, whether N's here or not. With its
And
little
is super
spotlight
not
torch on.
here.
Huh?
And is like
N is super
500
not-
feet.
oh, yeah.
And is 500 feet away or something like that.
Yeah, Willow does the like big ol' like speed run look around and comes back into the boat, and then like looks at Luca and says, "Ask them how they're doing this." Oh, the book they wrote in the book.
They wrote in the book, Luca says in his brain. Like, yeah, they wrote in the book.
I love the disappearing chat I'm imagining on the book.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
After 15
like
seconds, it disappears.
Yep.
What should I say to them? Tell them a message.
Are there limitations on this message?
Limitations, question mark.
And that's what I'm feeling out now, but it seems pretty...
You the limitation is 25 words per message.
Yeah, that's what N is like feeling out, and that's what N will tell you. But otherwise, as far as I know, I can contact anyone, anywhere, if their name is written in this book.
And Willow's missing out. Aw,
On what?
sad face.
Willow just sees Luca go, and it's like, you know what? Stuff you guys. Willow's going to, so ends at the crossroads?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going.
I'll be here.
Willow's just, we'll see, and then goes off with Fish Dog, charges down with the spotlight.
Willow power works towards you.
Yeah, and
in the
is like
night.
is bemused by the book and like writing in it, and then
Luca tells you that Willow is coming for you. Be ready for a fight.
time to test that theory about Willow being able to deck people. And like stiffens up and looks around, hearing the power walk.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna say that there is a little Willow like
Clicky
does a
clack.
little heel click thing on the way that makes them go faster, but I'm not gonna explain to you why.
You cast haste. Are you a Final Fantasy character?
Aren't I?
Honestly.
Okay.
Willow arrives very quickly.
What?
Is N there?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
just standing there.
No, not kidding. I didn't do that.
And it's just
Willow
standing there writing in their book at the crossroads.
Yeah.
Tips their head at you. What is this?
I told you. I asked if you wanted in.
Luca's just
Okay.
thinking random words on the page, and you see them.
I'm the scat man.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think Willow can read the message that Luca is sending, or I think you can see that when N writes a message on it, like the words disappear almost as quickly as they are written down.
Mhm.
And
Oh,
N is
yeah.
clearly reading something, but you can't see it.
It's a new
Yeah,
gift from
That's good to test, actually.
the friend upstairs.
Did N say a new gift?
Yeah.
And then Willow's standing like just marched up beside you with Fish Dog shining a big old light on you. And on the book so that they are seeing, or they don't need the light actually, but I think Fish Dog just does the spotlight of like, N is here, N. So
Checkpoint.
Fish Dog can calm down at the moment. Yeah, but Willow's just watching. Anything from my Arcana check?
I think you would need slightly more description. But your best guess is that this is probably a weird modified version of the sending spell. But the fact that N seems to be able to do it continuously is odd.
Yeah, so like Ascending Stones, for example, it's like one message a day, yeah?
Yep. Or like the Civis style of sending relays are like these big arcane machinery constructions that allow them to send telegrams essentially across relays, but Ed's just doing this.
With your book out in the open. Willow looks at it and then looks back at N again in that kind of like the scrutiny has turned to you again. But they've also stopped being like shocked by you getting random weird cool skills. So I think they're just going to shrug and if they can take your pen off you and say like, may I?
Give it a shot. And I'll turn the book around and offer the page to you.
I'm gonna wait, does this let me send to Luca?
Nope.
Okay, so it's only N.
Yep.
Willow's gonna just sign their name then.
Will the message that I send to N go to Willow or just N?
Just N.
So if Willow and I send messages at the same time, N will get them both on the page?
Yep.
Ah.
Yes.
Willow's going to sign their name and then like abruptly start walking in the other direction somewhere else.
And just watches
Basically-
them go.
Yeah, bombarding you with like. So when I speak to you from over here, does that make does my message blend together with Luca's message, or does it create a new line? are there different types of handwriting? Like, it's that kind of thing.
You,
but I think Willow
you
hasn't-
think all those things, but N hasn't sent him a communication to open the line yet. So, like, after 5 minutes of you doing that, you finally get the message from N saying hello.
And sees you gesticulating on the other side of the street. Okay, wait.
I'm seeing nothing on the page. No signal.
And writes, sorry, repeat that.
Willow does, like, you see from a distance, their hands just, like, drop to their sides, like, oh! And they walk further away, and they're like, is it working now? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
In the bottom corner, you see, I'm getting lonely.
If N remembers to send a message to Luca.
It's like, oh yeah, Willow's here. And then left that open, and then, I'm getting lonely.
Oh my god. Now Willow's going to start asking all the usual questions of, like, what's the
You
limit?
get caught
And I
up
feel like,
so fast.
oh, yeah.
And just keeps having to write continue, continue, continue.
Willow evidently isn't pausing between the things that they're saying, though, because I feel like they haven't
There's
internalized the limits. Yeah.
full, like, sentences have been dropped.
Yeah. And it's like you come back in the middle of, like, and according to previous studies, according to, like, that kind of, like,
Yeah.
halfway through, like, a backstory lore of, like, the sending spell,
Yeah.
I think one of the lines that comes through is, like, sort of funny how this comes through after Alonso, and then, like, that gets cut off as well, like, with Alonso having sent the spell. Willow's evidently just ambling along salvage, just sharing any thought that comes to mind.
Yeah. I think N is amused.
Wait, so
I think N
N
walks
writes
back to the
continue-
Yeah, I
scrap
think N's gonna go back to Luca.
Just as a, like, clarifying the mechanics, if N writes continue, does that reset for both of us?
It's directed at 1.
Okay.
Are you
So they need to
scrambling
make the
between both
active
pages,
choice.
juggling 2 conversations at the same time?
Kind of, yeah.
That's so
it's like
funny.
having text messages sort of scroll past.
Like a good, what is it? Several people are typing.
Yeah. Yeah. And he might, like, keep writing continue to Willow and then off to the side, right? I'm coming back to Luca, you know, unbeknownst to them, opening the message to Luca, well, then opening the message back to Willow, and then they've got both
Yep.
messages open.
Yep.
You know what? I'm gonna end up at the nesting quail, and I think Willow's going to say we should celebrate and invite you guys to come here.
And tells Luca that exact thing. Willow says we should
We'll
celebrate.
meet you there.
Sends the poppy. And's gonna show up and tell you in person. And then,
The quail.
Yeah.
yeah. Show up at the boat,
The
tell
quail.
Luca. Then we're going to the quail.
Yep.
I think Luca would try, like, if with Ant's permission, try sending a message to Willow on the paper, but obviously it probably doesn't work. So,
Yep.
Yeah, and we'll try
part of the
it.
experiment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let Luca give it a shot just to see what happens.
Yeah.
Words just fade blankly into the page. Invalid input.
Oh.
Willow's conversation goes to, like, general things like, what do you guys want?
What's your order? Yeah.
Hey, I'm at the place. You want anything?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh.
Oh, ask them what their favorite food is.
Hey Willow, what's your favorite food? Bread.
Did you write bread?
No, I just imagine that's what comes back.
No, Willow doesn't want to respond with bread because Damon called it boring last time he said bread. So Willow's now thinking, and I think there's just a long pause as Willow kind of shuts down the message. Like, just doesn't respond. Oh my god. They're still thinking about it by the time you get to the quail. And we share drinks. Willow will shout
Yeah.
drinks. I'll add that to the money
Yeah.
thing.
Toast.
Yeah.
Toast to my
Yeah.
weird little eyeball powers.
Yep.
Toast to your eyeball powers, toast to Luca's new potion making skill, and toast to my fun new door. And Willow's going to point out my shoes, but no one else has gestured at it yet.
Yep.
Is that how you got to me so fast?
They're very
I
pretty.
imagine the subsequent. Oh,
Yeah.
do you want me to describe them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're showing them off now.
Yeah, Willow's showing them off, I think.
Pick them up onto a chair. Let us see.
No. This is a fine establishment. Willow will kick them
A
into the air.
chair. Okay.
Luca puts his like thigh out and smacks it.
No! Yeah, okay. Willow will prop their foot up on your thigh. Like kick it up like you're a chair.
Yeah.
It's clearly some kind of like golden embellishment or ornament attached to their shoe. It's kind of like how do I describe this? At the tip of the shoe and at the base and the back of the shoe, there is
At the
this gold
heel.
part. Yeah, the heel. You're used to them having that little when they wear their outing shoes, there's been a version that has like a little gold part around the tip. Around the toe of the shoe. It's kind of like that again, but a bit more refined. And sort of matches the belt that they've been wearing for the entirety of the murder mystery, that little triangle thing.
Yeah.
And when they click the heel part on the floor, it grows a little bit and it like creates a little more of a angular design that goes up the front of the shoe. I need to learn more shoe words into the yeah. And it seems
Toe
like
is
whatever
correct.
whatever shoe Willow puts on, they will be able to kind of like lock into this one. The way that you press into, I don't know if you guys have seen those like rollerblades that people use, or roller skates.
Yeah,
Yes,
click
absolutely.
on
Where you
the
like press your
rollerblades.
yeah, it's like that, but a shoe.
Luca reaches out to tentatively touch it, worrying he's going to get electrocuted.
No, he won't. Maybe I might jolt as if I'm going to kick him, but like no.
They're pretty, but
Yeah.
do they do anything, or are they just pretty?
Yes. Find out later. We'll just go back to drinking.
With their foot still on him?
No. They kick their foot down, obviously.
Luca makes a face like, I'm wondering if I should show you guys something new. But
I think you should.
yeah?
I think
We're all sharing.
Also, you have an appointment tonight anyway. You should be going
That's true.
soon.
Maybe
You
we'll
were on
see you
your way
off.
out
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
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 You're
Well, I'll
supposed to
take
head
you
to
back to
Regalport
the...
tonight.
Yeah. We'll take you back to your boat, and then I'll take N home, and then I'll head to Regalport.
Okay. Yeah, Billy will accept
Unless
that.
Anne wants to sleep
company.
over at Willow's.
That's true.
If the fucking grinder won't keep them awake.
That should be finished by now, right?
Yeah.
Because I did
Yeah.
the spell. I did
And
the
might
arcane.
hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can come back.
Just watch you work for a
If
little
you
while.
want. Yeah.
And
Oh, I have a question for the two of you.
Hmm?
How do you think I'm getting to Regalport every night?
walking? Is that like part of your training?
I must endure long walks on a quiet road.
It's like standing under a waterfall or something.
Willow squints because they know Luca's building to something and they can't think of what at the moment.
Yeah, and it's also staring at you like they're not convinced of what they're saying. They're just filling dead air.
In which case, Luca just walks off.
There he goes. Into the night.
Even walks in a straight line.
Is he gonna go around it? Nope.
I think we watch him for a long time. Willow's expecting you to do something cool. And when you don't, if you don't, do you not do anything cool?
I think it's funny if he doesn't. So.
Oh my god, you're so annoying. Willow's gonna do a perception check just to see if they miss anything.
You
Did
saw
you
him
do it?
laughing to himself because he's like,
Oh
yeah,
my-
that was funny.
you see him giggling.
Can you? I look swiftly at N. Do you have the message open still?
En's got
Send
their.
him a
You
message.
look at En's got their book open and the pen in hand.
Tell him he's an idiot.
Luca, you're an idiot.
I think you just get back a giggle.
Yeah.
Like a giggle
Yeah.
written out.
Idiot.
Do we end the night there?
Apparently.
En's gonna go back.
Yeah.
En's gonna go back as well.
Anticlimax.
Let Luca
Punches
be on
N in
his
the
way.
arm and
Yeah.
you can join me back on the boat. I've already probably given Luca a heads up, like if he finishes early, then he can also come back to the boat in case you're awake. But I honestly think Willow's going to fall asleep quite early.
Yeah.
Sorry, N.
Yeah,
That's okay.
it's fine. Oh, let's keep moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luca, go giggle and saunter your way over to freaking Regal Fort, you walker, liar.
I didn't lie. I just didn't tell you guys anything.
You implied something heavily and then walked away.
Yeah.
And then
I
I get
asked
to
the
speculate
question.
about how you're getting there.
And I didn't answer.
Okay. Morning of the 18th. Luca is home, sound asleep, having a bit of a lie-in from his late nights of training.
Yep.
Willow, I believe you have a meeting today.
Yeah, well, it's not really a meeting because it's not really planned. But I do have a person I want to see.
Yeah. Well, please go. Describe how you get there and what you're doing.
Yes, well, hey, I haven't been back to Regal Court yet, but I do think it's time for Willow to go back. I'll probably like drop N off on the way,
Mhm.
like, you know, see them off to the Poppy and then continue on my way. If N asks about my day, I'm going to say that I'm going to see Varys
Okay.
and ask if they want anything from Regal Port.
I think they're good.
Okay. Yeah. I do think there are slight bits of nerves, but Willow's just trying to focus on the task at hand. Regal Port was never the problem. It was just, you know, the typical fears of everything. So Willow's still going to do a little perception check as they sit on the ferry, look around. I think on the ferry they managed to kind of write some notes and stuff. And this perception check, I hope, rides for them, like looking around town as well. Make sure they don't see anyone they don't, you know.
I think you are perfectly aware that like everything is smooth sailing. Yeah, I don't think there's anything really out of the ordinary unless you want to ask for specific details. You are not being followed or anything like that.
That's the main thing. Sorry. If there is any newspaper on the ferry, I might have a look to see what's being reported yet, in case it's like Tara Gellum revived yesterday. Like, I doubt it.
Nope.
Willow's been keeping their ear to the papers.
No, nothing like that. I think there are maybe a handful of articles like that are still discussing it, but it has faded away from front page news in terms of the murder and so on. Instead, it's like usual seasonal news, stuff that isn't super relevant to you. Yeah.
And I trust that, like, Wolfred would have been shipped off pretty immediately, huh? To Dreadhold. There's no, like, paperwork moments. Or...
Yeah, I don't think that he's here anymore. It was probably, like, the week after the trial, at most.
Yeah. Which has passed.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think the main thing is Willow is reflecting on when Varys was fishing. I do think he mentioned, like... Well, first of all, he mentioned that Ryger would mop the floor with me when we talked about that. I also suggested a spa to him.
Yeah.
That is spa with an R, sorry for my accent. Spar, not a spa day. Again. And I think he might have mentioned his training regime. I feel like Willow would have asked him about that.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
yes.
What would he have said regarding that?
He's been doing a few hours of exercise in the mornings or like around lunchtime when everybody's busy in a little sort of field adjoining a bit of woods close to the Greenleaf residence. Where he set up some ropes and a couple training dummies and is getting back into the swing of swinging a sword.
Nice.
Climbing rigging. Working up his strength again.
Actually, quick question. Would it have been quicker to go via cab then? Because I feel like the Greenleaf residence is closer to the...
Yes,
then pardon
probably.
me, no ferry. And that's also less anxiety inducing.
Yes.
I can go by cab. And I still imagine
Easy
Willow
enough.
checks the news in general. But yeah. I'm going to go and try and scope out Varys. See where his training spot is, if not he himself.
Yeah. Are you trying to be sneaky or open an approach?
I'll sneak for the sake of it. I have
Okay.
an infiltrator armor on.
Make a stealth check then at advantage. Cool. Not good enough.
Damn.
Yep. You see Varys sort of hand over hand climbing up a rope from in a tree, sliding down it, dropping to his feet, and climbing it up again, like
Yes.
practicing being up and rigging.
Ouch. But also impressive.
Yeah.
Quickly, how is that rope being suspended?
It's tied to a branch high up in the tree, basically, and he's basically using it as like a free hanging rope, like you would for a rope swing.
Yeah, makes sense. Gosh. That's cool.
There's also like bits of like rope ladder and stuff like that for other things. This seems to be one of the more advanced things that he's doing. I'll roll an athletics check for him to see how well he's doing at it.
He's just waking up. It's fine.
I think like you see him. It's like it's slow going. He's clearly not built up in all of his strength yet. But it is also considerably easier to climb up a rope hanging still from a tree compared to trying to climb up a rope on a moving ship in a storm, you know?
Yes, of course. Let me just.
You
think
also
real
see
quick.
that he has a sword and dagger tied to his belt, so he's getting used to climbing around while wielding weapons, and that's part of what's slowing him down.
Let me just think of a thing I can do from a distance that is sneaky. Let me think of my sneakies.
Shoot him in the
I have
ass.
sneaky. Well,
Test
I
out
could.
that new crossbow.
He just
I'm
got that
thinking of
ass
it.
back.
He did. He's all caked up on a Thursday, and what for? For the sea dragons. Hand across chest.
For Ryga.
Anyway,
Blows a kiss to the air.
I
Pour one out for Ryga.
Cake it up for Ryga.
Wow.
Anyway. I have a thought, but let me just check that it's right. So,
Yes.
Of course, it's. If I may just give a little background, I have like 50 new spells. Sorry, I have like 25 new spells, but it gives me 50
Yes.
spells overall. So let me just go through my
Oh my
spells real quick,
gosh.
because there's one I wanted to have, but I just.
There's so many.
And I have a sheet with all of the descriptions of the spells, and this is the one spell I don't have a description for yet. So I'm like, ah! It's okay.
What?
Anyway, I think from a distance, if Varys is kind of struggling, Willow is going to remove their crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
Do a little bit of turning on it. You hear the nice little like, it's like again clicking a dial. And then aim it at him, and in this case, the little cross of the crossbow does come out, like flings out as it shoots at him. I'm going to cast Aid.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. Can you post that into the chat, please?
Oh, I can.
Cool. Do you target yourself as well with the aid spell, or just him?
Oh my god, I can do both.
Neat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
might as well.
that's
do
up to 3
my-
creatures.
How long does it affect you for? 8 hours? Yeah, both.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. In which case, what does it look like as the aid spell is cast on you both?
The both? Okay, so I imagine the little crossbow cross section, I'm gonna say cross so many times, makes a cross. Which,
Oh gosh.
like, you can see the little zip of blue fire off in Varys's direction. It's cross-shaped at first and then kind of, like, moves through the middle, like pushing a needle through a cross, and it, like, becomes a little arrow as it goes. And then on the flip side, it, like, kind of has a recoil on Willow that comes through the actual handle of the crossbow and into them. Like, you can see it, like, poof, with them.
Ooh.
But it hits Varys with a little poof as well, but I don't know if you can feel it. Can you feel it?
Cool. Yeah, I think he notices it as you do that, and his hit points are suddenly upped by 5, as are yours.
Nice.
And Varys basically, let's see.
So shocked he falls out of the tree.
We'll find out. Nope, he does not fall out of the tree, but he does like swing around and like plant his feet on the trunk of the tree instead of like freely climbing up it, and says, "Oh, hello. Wasn't expecting to see you there. What boon have you granted me today?"
My company alone. Willow has put the crossbow away before he can see it, hopefully. But I can do it.
Make a sleight of hand check against his perception.
Because I did it from stealth.
Oh.
Can I use fish dog 4?
You don't need to.
Yeah,
He did not see it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
He did not see it.
Empty-handed.
Varys.
Okay, wait. If
Empty-handed
Willow
approach.
had rolled a 1, they both would have rolled 4. Who would have won in that scenario?
They both lose.
Knocks the crossbow in a bush.
Losers.
Varys doesn't see it.
They both lose, or we re-roll.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
If it's a tie, we re-roll.
Yeah. Willow approaches to look at him, like hands on hips. You stuck?
No. He drops down.
You look it.
I'll forgive myself for being emaciated after 6 years being trapped under a lighthouse.
Okay, dramatic. Alright.
We
Willow
come to
puts her
spar.
hand up like, oh. You read my mind. Since you were all talk about how I'd be mopped. Sorry, I'd mop the floor. I'd be mopped that I would be the mop with which Rhaegar mopped the floor. Anyway, your threat earlier, your insult. If I am mop worthy, then we will see if you are mop worthy, I think.
All right, then. Name
Okay.
your terms of engagement. How do you want to fight Varys?
Well, I gave him some extra hit points so that he wouldn't die quickly.
Are you hitting with cuts or just to touch?
No. It would be touch. That was a joke. Yeah. What are the terms? I think first to... No, actually, I think Willow's going to say to Varys, so what's the sea dragon approach to this?
Well, if it's merely sporting competition, it's usually first to 3 touch.
Say if I wanted to become the prince. High prince.
Well, then it would be a duel until yield.
That is a bit more exciting. But you are
Varys,
emaciated, right? So...
I could hold my own against you, at least. Sizes you up.
I'm going to do it. What's my usual check that I do to suss out people's form?
I think it's a perception check.
Hi.
Ooh.
Ooh, very high.
Susses you out right back.
What's your hit points total?
My hit points.
Yeah.
Oh, do I have temporary hit points from aid?
Yep.
Cool.
They're not actually temp HP, they're HP.
Each target hit point maximum and current hit points increases by 5. Oh, cool. Yeah. Can I put them in 5 just so I don't forget what my current hit
Yes.
points are?
Yes.
Thank
You can just add a +5 to the number at the top. So
Okay, so I currently have 43 hit points.
okay. Varys seems about equal with you in terms of hardiness. And while he's clearly still working on his upper body strength and capacity for climbing, he is looking fit. Fit enough, certainly, to go toe to toe with you.
Cool. That's interesting. Anything about his form? Like, does he... I've seen him fight against Luca, though, so that's more of like a memory check. Like, I kind of know the cut of his...
He seems to have improved since then, I believe. He has both scimitar and dagger, and will probably use both in combat.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
That's the hottest shit.
That is pretty hot of you.
Specifically, scimitar and dagger is like a thing for me. I don't know if anyone knows that. Diala had one. The thing for me.
Damn. Okay. Let me think with my brain, my big brain, biggie brain. Yeah, I think Willow's going to lean towards the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
Willow will probably say it depends. Do you want to warm up first, or would you like to go straight for the throat?
No. Sounds like you want to go straight for the throat.
Just wouldn't want to waste your time, Captain.
He draws his blades. On guard, then.
Mim is looking at Willow like, why do you get yourself into this? Because it's swag. Okay, Willow's going to also draw their sword. They're drawing the Stab Daemon sword, not the Stab Warfred sword.
The rapier, yes.
Yes.
All right, then. Let's roll initiative.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Wait, I need to select my token, don't I? Nope, there's no token.
There's no token to select, just do it.
Okay.
Okay, Varys strikes first.
Okay.
Quick.
Mm-hmm. You draw your own sword, and as soon as you are ready, Varys comes at you with scimitar and dagger. Miss? Miss?
Nice.
Miss. You carefully parry each of his strikes as he comes at you.
Nice. I do think
Seems
Willow
more
kind of like
enthusiasm than accuracy, and it feels like he's doing a show of force to sort of see how alert you are.
nice, like a quick flurry to start with. I do think that like at least the first two might have been like just dodges, like little spinny dodges.
Dodge, dodge, parry
into position. Yeah, and the last one is a little parry, just for the clink of it all, you know.
Yeah.
Willow seems impressed with his little display, but will also quickly bounce back with their sword. Where is it? Oops, I hit the wrong button. Hehe, sorry.
Varys uses his reaction to parry and adds 2 to his AC.
Ooh.
So you go for something that looks like it's a clear hit, but he twists his scimitar in the way, and the rapier slides and it turns it into a miss.
Oh,
you thought
wow.
that you had him dead to rights, but he parried it as a reaction.
Okay. Okay.
It's
you
his
know,
turn
I
now.
usually get 2.
Or yes, actually, at this point, you do get 2 attacks if you would like.
Can I hold that for now, just to let his parry
Sure.
resonate? Cool.
Yeah. Cool. In which case, miss.
Oh,
Critical hit.
can I shield that?
What's
Oh wait, does my shield have to exceed?
yes?
What does my shield have to exceed again?
It has to exceed the number rolled, which is not going to happen.
Which is a waste. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then Willow does 2 very clean dodges, and then I think the last one kind of catches them on. Well, you described it, but
Yeah.
Like-
So you Varys comes at you again with his scimitar, and you like sort of dance out of the way of the blade, and then that dagger comes swinging out of the clear blue sky and like manages to scrape you like up the outside of your thigh, and it hurts. He's drawn blood. It's like it's not like a deep disabling stab, but it is a scratch that hurts.
I think Willow's startled because even when they went for their other attack, they were still playing. They were kind of not expecting Varys to actually hit to actually draw blood. Even though they taunted it, they were just they're just a bit thrown. Not in a bad way, they're just like, oh, I think Varys hears them like hiss and jump a bit, and their little dancing, which has been quite adept this whole time, sort of falters. And they give him like a bit of a frown.
Varys says, if we're not fighting until yield, then first blood wins.
Willow Willow rolls their shoulders and says, lucky we are then, and is going to attack him.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't parry his way out of that. That hits. Describe, please.
Can I do another one to see if both hit?
Yeah, sure. Second one does not hit.
Okay,
So
I'm
you
going
catch him
to
on the first, but not on the second.
I'm going to flavor this then as a
He did
I
seem
honestly
ready
imagine
to
Willow
put the
going-
swords away, like after the first blood comment, but you can catch him by surprise.
Hey, we said we're going by yield. I'm not attacking him if he's unarmed, but like I'm attacking him if he's still playing.
It was like a "do you want me to put the swords down" kind of gesture.
No.
That's
I think Willow would,
yeah.
out of habit, would go across the chest.
Oh, okay.
Like diagonally across the chest.
Yeah.
In like an overarm. And I do imagine the second one, while it's a miss, it might be like the overarm swipe diagonal down across the chest and then
Yes.
facing back towards him in a way that could have hit him across the shoulder, but I guess misses and instead just ends up aimed at his neck.
Yeah. The thing is, the rapier is a piercing weapon.
Yeah.
So the strike across the chest cuts at his cloth, and then there's like a little thrust, and that's the thing that like does the damage.
Mm.
It's like a swipe and a point,
Yeah.
is what you do.
I am.
And Varys then backs away from the second strike.
Ah, yes, I see
There's
what you
a
mean.
little bit of distance between you, and he says, "Well then, game is afoot." So let me just. Good. Varys' turn.
Damn.
What
Oh my
the
gosh.
What
Get fucked, Willow.
16, and then the dagger misses.
Go on.
Wow.
Am I taking damage from these, by the way?
You are, and so
I
is
am.
he.
Yeah. Oh, true. Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, it's also your turn to attack.
Yeah. I don't even know if I did my maths right. I'm too busy just thinking like, that was hitting me. How did it hit me though? By this one.
I think it is a literal, like, after your first swipe, the game is truly afoot, and Varys fully slashes at your other thigh with the scimitar. I think the crit is a slash on the same spot as before, and then
Oh my god.
comes back the other way on the other thigh. And you manage to, like, dodge out of the way as the rapier comes again. You're getting a sense for his rhythm now, even if it is painful to learn.
Yeah. You know what? I should have already used this, but I didn't expect him to be so ruthless, but that's a good thing to know that I underestimated him. I'm gonna use bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
Kinetic jaunt.
Oh.
Yes.
Please describe.
So my fancy shoes that I made, you guys saw. There was a little skip hop in Willow's walking when they first went after End that made them move a little faster. When End had the book out. It's that same kind of motion, and you see it's very slight. Willow tries to keep it subtle, but there is a little, like, hovery aura around their shoes for a brief moment as the spell sets in, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of just settles back into their armor, though if you're looking very closely, you can see all of the gold parts of their armor, like, light up a little, but mainly focused on their boots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And...
Cool. So you now have a walking speed of 45 feet.
Mhm.
And you don't provoke opportunity attacks. So you can
Cool.
hit and run Varys now.
I can. With my boat. I will go for... Look, I don't want to bring a gun to a sword fight, so I will just knock him again with... I could use magic, though. I could use a spell.
You could use a cantrip.
I can't use two spells in one go, even if one's a bonus
Nope.
action?
Nope.
And me. Don't know the rules. Well, I don't want to lightning lure him. I certainly don't want to mend him, so... So sword it is, I guess.
Yep.
Might as well go 2 more turns and then try and step out of range.
Sure. First one hits.
Yeah. It's another jab.
Yeah,
I think I'm
you
aiming
get
for
him.
the shoulder this time, the sword arm.
Yeah, yeah. You jab him in the sword arm and, like, get a little scratch off on him. He hisses in pain and sort of moves out of the way as you go for a second.
Hmm.
And then you run away, right?
Not like run, but I do get out of range.
Cool. He tries to swipe at you with his reaction as an opportunity attack and misses completely because you cannot be targeted by them.
Yes. I do imagine that is flavored as there's like a little sheen in Willow's boots,
Yeah.
and they do, you know, their usual like spins out of the way. It's like that,
Yeah.
but I feel like if you looked closely, you could tell that it's a bit magical flavored in how it's
Yeah.
like how fast it is.
Yes.
It's
you
like
move
the same
it very
movement.
quickly. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
same
think-
movement, little sheen of their boots, and then like a.
Yeah. I think Varys says, "Oh, we're casting spells now, are we?"
Are we? Willow's got that face like, you tell me!
Okay.
And
How-
like
how-
sulkily rubs at one of their thighs while they're at a distance.
How far away are you?
Outside of stabbing range, he will have to catch up to me, but like I'm not out of the usual like circle of dueling that we would have
Okay. Yeah.
in a typical sparring ring. I think Willow will take this opportunity though to ask. So on a scale from Varys to, I don't know, Horgitz, where are you at currently?
Is that supposed to be a joke? I was one of the. No, I was one of the points.
What does he mean by that? Says Mim.
Is Varys a Varys or a Horgat? What's the scale? It makes
Did you
your
mean to
scale
say
makes no
Ryger
sense.
and Horgus?
Yeah.
You meant Ryger,
No,
not
okay.
Varys.
Never mind. The thing was, like, where are you at compared to where you should be?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you said
Implying
it in a way that
that he
Varys
is not
didn't
in his game.
understand.
Yeah.
Give me another 2 months of steady meals and steady exercise, and I should be back where I was.
Which is where?
I think you'll find out soon enough. He approaches you and
Fuck.
will do I think he's going to annoy you. Make a strength saving throw.
Oh my god.
What's your spell DC at Varys?
Oh, hey?
Oh. So yeah, Varys approaches you and with a swish of his dagger through the air casts the Gust cantrip.
Ha.
And you just get blasted in the face with wind, but you are not knocked back.
Willow gives you a look and says, "Oh, please, have you forgotten already?"
Well then, it's your turn.
We're using magic now?
Yeah, you started it. You started it by casting Kinetic Jaunt. That is using magic to your own advantage.
Yeah, to evade, not to attack. But hey, if we're here, and while I'm saying, "Oh, have you forgotten already?" I'm going to... Do I have it equipped? Let me just double check. Can I lightning launch him?
You can.
Or should I lightning lure him? That seems a bit more less aggressive.
Okay.
Guys,
I think actually Lightning Launcher is less damage.
less damage.
Yeah,
If it
because you're
hits.
level 5 now.
He tried to push
Oh,
you
yeah.
over, you try to push him over.
Yeah.
But Lightning
It's okay.
Lure pulls him into your range because
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
not
yeah.
in your range.
Yeah. No, I think lightning launch makes more sense. It was my first impression anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it just goes with the vibe.
Yeah. Open hand, you blast him. Varys tries to parry, but you cannot parry electricity. So instead he takes 4 lightning damage as the lightning launcher hits him in the sword and zaps him, and he's like, "Ah, that stings."
Willow laughs. He says nothing.
Cool. I think Varys is gonna come after you once more, with swords drawn. I'm assuming you don't want to do a second attack with lightning launcher.
Nah, I think one's enough. I'm not trying to hurt him.
I think one of those hits, even if you cast shield, but the otherwise 2 hit if you don't cast shield.
I'll cast... Wait, what did I use before? Did I use a magic up here? No, I didn't. I only used Aid and Kinetic Jaunt, so I have no more level 2 spells. Sorry, just remembering how to combat.
Yeah. Oh, good.
But I can use Shield.
Yeah. So, you cast shield on the first one that just sort of scrapes your side. The second scimitar stab manages to overcome the force field, and then the dagger skitters off harmlessly.
Nice.
But I will roll damage for that one attack for 8 slashing.
Not bad, old man. Ouch. Willow's looking a bit average.
Varys is also not looking so good.
Which one of us is looking less good than the other?
What are you at?
12.
Ooh,
I
yeah,
think.
you're way worse.
So I'm much worse than Varys at the moment.
Yes, by 8 points.
Oof. I
Do you
mean,
want to do one final attack attempt? Or are you
attempt.
going to yield?
No, I
You
won't.
don't know, Evan.
I'll
Okay.
yield when I die. It's fine.
That is unsporting.
You're gonna make Varys
Oh!
through your death.
Ooh. Well, that second one doesn't hit, but the nat 20, the crit does hit.
Yes.
For 13 damage, bringing him down to 7 HP. How do you want to describe this? Please describe.
What's the last thing he said?
I don't remember.
Me neither. We had maths break. Varys and Willow stare into space. You know what? I think the only way that this could finish off. So he did he skidded across the shield. He didn't say anything. He just took one last attack. Where did that attack hit?
The I think it got you on the shoulder.
Okay. I think Willow, feeling that they are nearing the end of nearing a very low score, they're computing I feel bad, actually. This is not good. My movement is impeded. Probably he hit their sword arm. I think the last move, if I could use the nat 20 to say that Willow lunges in that way that Luca might recall for the throat and uses the nat 20 to pull back to make sure they don't actually hit him. But it is a clear...
Yeah.
It's a clear, ooh, ouchie if this had gone...
I think what you do is you lunge up and you manage to scrape the side of his face, so you draw blood, a line of blood up along the cheek, and if you had moved just a fraction to the side, that would have gone through his chin.
Yeah. I do think that will...
it's...
Oh.
Yeah, it
Willow
was a very scary attack.
Yeah, and I would say too, Willow would pause at the chin and then up the cheek as they kind of full stop kind of gesture.
Varys backs up and says, "I yield." Oh, vicious, aren't you?
Willow settles down from that one. That got their blood racing a bit more than they even expected to. They were expecting a playful fight, and then it went really intense all of a sudden. But in a fun way, I think Willow just does a little bit of a lap, and then comes back to Varys with a nod and a skip, and goes for the handshake to kind of shake off the battle of it all.
He shakes her hand. Ah. Who taught you how to fight? You're quite good.
Willow gestures vaguely. What about you?
Learned with the sea dragons, of course.
So everyone would have your style, I assume, or at least your tenacity.
It's pretty common. It's a favored style among pirates, especially on the high seas.
Ow, by the way.
Ow yourself!
You started... Well, no, I guess we both started it. I have two spells left. I'm going to use Cure Wounds on us both.
Okay. You cure Varys and yourself. And I think Varys gets some water, offers you some. And it's just well, I think that's enough training for me today. Otherwise, I'll lose more blood than I have.
You have to get used to it.
Suppose so. I thought for sure I had you on the ropes there. With that final hit, you should have yielded.
Willow shrugs. I've heard I don't know when to.
Well, that's clear enough. still, was fun.
I agree. Better than hitting dummies.
Much agreed.
I've been engaged in a fair few duels recently. Willow's like stretching while they talk. None of them have been particularly exciting.
Oh, that's a shame.
This one has.
As to your answer, I think if it were a one-on-one duel against the High Prince, you'd fare much worse. As would I, but that's only to be expected.
Yeah, Willow relents to that. Like they know that they're not going to beat Ryga, but they are going to aim for it. Willow's going to probably mention how far off.
How do I say this in a way? Well, I'd say he's about 3 of you. In terms of toughness.
Willow nods.
Maybe a little bit more. He's even more fleet of foot than you are. And not to mention his true strength, which is, of course, his fleet.
Did he adjust his collar when he said that? Like, that was such a vibe.
Yeah, it was a little bit
his
of a...
fleet, dust shoulder. Oh. Oh, I see. Willow says with a big shit-eating grin. Did his fleet, Willow gestures, witness him taking power?
Certainly some of us did.
Did Varys?
Are you wanting to hear the story told?
Quick question to Zeke. Does that include Varys? Does he have a look about him that says me? Yes.
I'd make an insight check. I need to close. Not him, but he heard first-hand accounts. He wasn't there in person, but he was around when it happened at the time.
I guess so. I think Willow will say, that's a story for another day. Maybe just... Could I, at this current skill level, be a sea dragon? Captain.
Varys sort of looks you over. A captain, I don't know, but certainly you have more than the makings of a simple sailor.
Well, of course.
Captain is a difficult role to fill, I'm sure you are aware.
She rolls her eyes. Yeah. Willow's sussing out basically skill level in terms of fighting, combat. But I think they have measured themselves against Varys in that case. Mm-hmm. So the banter is mostly just banter.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere, they're probably just going to ask, say, do you still have that spyglass?
Yeah, of course.
Would I be able to borrow it?
I don't see why not.